The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers, Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. This sports show will begin right now.
Yeah!
Hey, this is a good one, too.
Yeah, here we go.
There's a lot to talk about whenever it comes around the man, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we're talking about a broken toe. We've seen his foot since the last time we chatted with him. He is now trending because of a photo that has Jalen Ramsey on the ground behind him with him flexing after doing a little juke do-si-do with a broken freaking toe. Can't wait to chat with him. Looking down the barrel of a bye week. Mm-hmm. What's he going to do? Allegedly, there was going to be surgery, then there's no surgery. How's he going to spend it? Because does he have to get tested? Maybe not, because he had COVID pretty publicly and it had 70-some days. There's a lot to chit-chat with him about. I can't wait to get to it. We'll also be talking to A.J. Hawk, just like every other day of the week. The boys are here. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor at the Toxic Table. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Tone Diggs, the COVID cowboy, who has now saddled the horse of the Super Boost for Thursday Night Football. Ooh. He will now take the reins of the Super Boost and hopefully guide us into a heater that we have not experienced thus far in this 2021 NFL season. He's staring down a Thursday Night Football matchup that has a lot of question marks.
Oh, yeah?
Dallas Cowboys, New Orleans Saints. Taysom Hill is getting 1 reps.
Yep.
Is he starting a quarterback, or are they doing this just to fuck with people on the incredibly short week that is Thursday Night Football games? Dallas has Zeke back, Cooper back, Dak is still there, but Big Mike McCarthy and 7 others have Omicron running through the stars.
Jeez.
Tone Diggs has been zeroing in on a potential target for the Super Boost. I don't want you to give it away yet because we don't know if we can boost that particular bet. But as you look at Thursday Night Football, Tone, as the man who is potentially going to have millions and millions of dollars on his back as we ride that Super Boost to a happy time, how are you feeling looking a couple days out?
So there's a lot of variables in this game. You know, you talked about Taysom taking the 1 reps now. Kamara might be back. Mark Ingram might be back. Dak may have CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper back. We don't know what's going on with Big Mike. So you try to find the constants that are going to be in there in this game, the tried and trues that you know are going to be in this game that these variables won't affect.
Why?
Okay? And that's the mission I'm on right now. So I'm going to try to find the bet that these variables are not going to affect.
Thank you, Tony.
Baby Tony.
Thank you, Tony. The COVID cowboy, the hammered Dahn cowboy, the man who will win us all a bunch of money, and also a man who potentially could have guided me into a better decision in last night's game. And I think the thing about Thursday Night Football game, and whenever he's talking about all the variables between the Cowboys and the Saints, there's variables, it seems like, every week for every team. Why are teams beating teams? Why are teams shitting all over themselves? I have no idea. I think this year, the amount of random is happening a lot more than often. Now, is it because it's a 17-game season? Is it because we're coming post-COVID and we don't know what we don't know after a year off? Is it because of the way teams are being constructed, with the way money's being spent, and how locker rooms are coming together and consistency might not be there? I have no idea. Is this what the NFL looks like for the next 10 years, 20 years? Maybe. It is electrifying, but it is a little bit frustrating when you're trying to gamble on these games. For instance, last night, Russell Wilson on primetime television on his birthday in the nation's capital, okay? You put all those things together. We know Russ, hey, he and Sierra had they're shaking hands with everybody.
Everybody. Power couple.
That's a homecoming almost when you go to D.C. for Russell Wilson. That is a power couple that has powerful relationships. That is in the nation's cap. Wale's there. There's a lot of people in the building chit-chatting watching this game. Russell Wilson has a chance to put on a show for his East Coast friends because he's all the way in fucking Seattle where they toss fish on the left side of the country. Long way away. Nobody could have thought what was going to happen last night happened last night. I mean, they stink.
stink.
Hey, they stink.
Terrible.
Now, this is no offense to the Washington football team. Great win.
Huge win. Boy, Heineke.
I mean, the Washington football team dominated the Seattle Seahawks in basically every single statistical category, including the time of possession to like 48 minutes to something like 12 minutes or something. I mean, it was something absurd. Taylor Heineke gets a big time win. Ron Rivera's walking off the field saying, let's fucking go. Yeah. Let's fucking go to the Washington football team faithful. That has been around since 1932 or something like that. I saw it in the end zone, painted in there. Fascinating. New team name, same organization. They're saying Steve Levy,
man,
on the way out.
Steve, come on.
It's going to happen.
Long night.
The long night is going to happen as we continue to transition. Even whenever they get their new name, I think hopefully that'll all change. But how could we have ever predicted? And I guess AJ did, and Darius Butler did, and AJ ended up beating me in week 12. All right?
Son of a bitch.
Hey, we're on to week 13.
Yeah, what's done is done.
It's done. It's done.
Can't talk about it.
Nope. It's in the past.
We're on to week 13.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, what a wild season. If you start looking at the standings right now, the teams that are at the top, I guess we could have known they were going to be at the top, but so many teams are in the hunt.
Yeah.
So many teams are looking in. I mean, we saw a graphic earlier that Dirty put together that literally had, the people that are into, boom, here it is. The division leaders, the wild card, then in the hunt. In the hunt, there's only a few teams that aren't in the hunt right now on both sides. Extra week, who knows what's going to happen with injuries. I mean, the Patriots right now, incredibly hot.
Oh, yeah.
But what if somebody gets injured? You have to think about that in the NFL. I don't want it to happen. I don't want to put it in the universe. But whenever you look at any of these teams, they're one or two players away from potentially, and that has been happening to some teams. Derrick Henry. Imagine when Derrick Henry was playing for the Tennessee Titans, what they were doing to teams. They might have killed the Seahawks, to be honest. Gumpy said that earlier. It has been since the Titans did what they did to the Seahawks in the second half of that game, the Seahawks have basically been dead ever since. Now, Geno Smith was playing. Russell Wilson is a Wolverine and came back earlier than anybody could have thought, but they've been dead ever since. Teams have changed complete identities this season already. Now we're getting into real football. Now we're getting into meaningful games. And I think I heard Jeff Saturday say this earlier about how some teams have already proven themselves and they've done well. And I think he was talking about Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. Like if they lose, like if the Dallas Cowboys lose, nobody's going to give a single fuck about how they started. No. December football is all that matters, is basically what Jeff said. And Jeff got to play in a lot of playoff games and a lot of big time games. And anytime you hear that, I kind of get reminded, like, the end of the season is the only thing anybody remembers going into the off season. Unless you stunk the entire year, then you're just kind of thrown away as a trash team. Oh, they get a top 5 pick. They're going to change their program. They're going to change their program. They're going to change their program. But if you were hot early and then you got cold in December, that's all anybody remembers. This team fell apart. This team couldn't do this. This injury happened and they had to go this complete different way in free agency and they had to turn over their team, maybe new coach. I mean, nothing matters except for the football we're about to get into. And I think this year, the most unpredictable shit has already happened. We can assume it's only going to continue as we get into the most important, crucial games of the season.
Yeah, like a lot of those teams that are at the top of the playoff hunt, if you will, have lost to teams that aren't even in it. Like the Titans have lost to the Jets and the Texans. The Patriots probably should have lost to the Texans. And even the Packers. I mean, the Packers week 1 lose to the Saints, get killed by the Saints, and then, here we are damn near halfway through the season, more than halfway through the season.
Well, there's another Jimmy Winston getting hurt there. Is a huge thing. Can you put up the ESPN Power Rankings? You're talking about teams losing to teams and it changing and everything like that. How about the Los Angeles Rams post Robert Woods?
Yeah.
Okay, post Robert Woods injury. So this is ESPN's Power Rankings. Thank you, ESPN. Thank you, ESPN. The ESPN's Power Rankings are comprised of 81 writers, reporters, and football personalities. And they all vote each week, and we still don't know if it's how they think it's going to end or what they think right now. We've been told it's right now, but a lot of the picks we have felt have definitely been thinking about in the end earlier in the year. This week, from last week going into this week, the most fascinating one to me is the Los Angeles Rams last week were ranked 4th in the NFL. This team, hey, Matt Stafford's balling. They got OBJ, they're going. They lose to the number 1 team in the NFL this week, the Green Bay Packers. They fall completely out of the top 10. Is that because of Robert Woods? Is it an eye test? Because the Titans lose, and the Titans were at 3, and they're at 8 now. They lose to a nobody team. Couple weeks in a row. They're still in the top 10. Rams get the hell out. That is kind of indicative, though, of the 81 people that we do not know, and who knows if we should take what they say seriously. I don't care how long they've been around the game. We should at least maybe think about, should we take them seriously or not. Some people are great. Hey, listen, this is not everybody stinks thing. But
No.
But that is kind of indicative on what the season is. We have no fucking clue. And now, Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals come out of a bye, and Kyler will probably be as healthy as he has to. And Colt McCoy, I think, 2-1. And Cliff Kingsbury, although, Schefter's taking it on the shins.
Oh, yeah, big time.
There was a tweet at one time that a source said at some point to somebody that Cliff Kingsbury might be the new coach of Oklahoma, which everybody said, how or why would Cliff Kingsbury do that? The team is finally good. They have a young roster, and it seems like he's getting better as an NFL coach each year, and he did not win in college. So why would he go back to college football whenever he is succeeding at a very high level with a young group of superstars in a city that is the 4th largest in America with an owner that's going all in? Why the fuck would Cliff Kingsbury go to Oklahoma? Is what everybody said immediately following Schefter's report that was going to happen, but that's real. They were winning without Kyler. Now Kyler comes back. I think that guy should be in conversation for the coach of the year shit at this point, and that team could go. But is there any other teams other than them that we say, oh, they're going to show up every single week and do well? You could say the Bucs, I guess, because they have Tom, but there's been a couple games where it hasn't happened. We assume they're going to go, though. Everybody just assumes, especially after this big win against the Colts this past weekend. And the Colts, they have a chance to potentially go too. Unless they're heartbroken because of losing to Tom. And then Tom goes on his podcast. Do we have the clip? Listen to what Tom said about beating the Colts on Sunday, a game in which I was at. A lot of guys were at for Robert Mathis's thing. And we had a 10-point lead at one point to win. And it's Tom, and it's a lot of ex-coach. Listen to how Tom Brady described that Super Boost losing on Sunday in Indianapolis.
Always fun talking to you on a Monday after winning, especially fun after we beat the Colts, which,
Is that right?
I know we've, done a pretty good job of that lately. I think I've beat the Colts the last 9 times I played them. It was great to win in Indy. It turns out that horseshoe on their helmets isn't as lucky as it seems. It really sucks for them, but not for us. So it was a great win.
That's good.
It's been a lucky horseshoe for you. Jim should take it off their helmet. Maybe you're carrying it around.
Maybe send it out to Peyton. Give me a decal or something.
Oh, jeez.
It still holds that same feeling, huh? Even in a Bucs uniform.
Good follow-up, Jim.
It's great to beat the Colts always. I've had obviously quite a history with them. I loved when Peyton was there. It was pretty tough to beat him when Peyton was there, when he was their quarterback.
Yikes.
However, after.
Carson, who's their quarterback now, I think was in kindergarten Peyton's rookie season. So that tells you how long this has been going back for. But it was good. We've had quite a few coaches on our staff that were a part of the Colts organization for a long time, like Clyde Christensen and Tom Moore, and even BA coach Peyton there. So I said, listen, don't let everyone get teary-eyed after we beat these guys. I don't want any, sadness. Don't feel like there's anything to be sad about after we win this game.
Louise, man. What about that guy? Yeah. He's dancing on our grave.
Big time.
I didn't know that was like that. It makes sense. Because the Tom Payton thing was always viewed as a rivalry, because it was. Those two motherfuckers are going to run into each other late in the AFC Championship, and Tom was going to win a lot of those, but Peyton got his fair share as well. If you look back at who represented the AFC in the Super Bowl at a quarterback position, it's like Tom, Peyton, Ben Roethlisberger, and Flacco snuck in. Yeah. And that's like for 20 years almost. That was kind of the AFC. I got a chance to experience the last time the Colts beat the Patriots. It was in Indianapolis. It was the 4th and 2 game. Melvin Bullitt makes a massive play. Reggie Wayne scores a touchdown. We win. How you doing? Keep it moving. We did celebrate. That was a great evening, a great time. And then I would find out as the regime would turn over, and the team would as well, that the schedule makers at the NFL still wanted the Colts to play the Patriots, because of all those years of history. And there was plenty of time where it seemed like a buzzsaw was happening on the other sideline as opposed to us. But a lot of fucking great battles, and I didn't necessarily love how Jim and Tom addressed that, but I like that passion, I enjoy that type of like rivalry feel because that is something that does happen and is real, but it's never talked about with the NFL because, the NFL guys only playing for money, These sons of bitches don't care about anything but themselves.
They don't love the game.
But then whenever they're too passionate, we got to penalize it. Whenever they talk like this, we got to hate it. It's like, I love that there's still, and for Tom, there's always going to be something, he's like fucking Michael Jordan at the, in the Utah restaurant when
George
that coach,
Karl.
when George Karl walked by and said, "How are you doing? Greatest of all time, Michael Jordan." And Michael Jordan said, "That motherfucker told me it was going to be a long night." That was awesome. Tom has that same thing, and I enjoyed hearing that, although I was on the wrong end of it a lot. I enjoy learning about this Tom Brady character. He's an assassin.
Yeah.
He is a savage assassin, and we're getting to learn about it here now 20 years into his greatness. And in his words, at the end of The Last Man in the Arena, I'm still fucking doing it.
Mm-hmm. No big deal.
You are, dude. You absolutely are.
Another one tonight with Vrabel and Brewski should be awesome, but it makes sense kind of, right? Because for 20 years when you're with one team, the rivalries that you have there probably kind of carry in to what the
the
Bucs.
rivalry was with Tom Brady, though. You got to remember, the people of Indianapolis hate Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
They hate the Patriots, obviously. Hate Tom Brady. A lot of people twisted. Not as torn as becoming Broncos fans.
Oh, yeah.
So when Peyton went, a lot of people were very okay with being Broncos fans. Not as many people okay with being Tom Brady fans in Tampa away from New England. It was those split jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
When Peyton went to Denver, those were an actual.
It's despicable.
That was happening. Yeah. But I understood it. I very much understood it because Peyton was, the face of the team. There was a lot of great players on that team. Great players that were right alongside Peyton that entire time. But when Peyton was brought in, a chapter began that was very different than any chapter that came before it here in Indianapolis Colts football history. Now, Baltimore Colts football has great history, right? Since it came to Indianapolis, though, they stunk. Peyton gave an interview, actually, with NFL Films, and he said, the Colts used to be the one that people circled and said, "Hey, we're going to get a win here." I felt like I wanted to change that.
Right.
And that was kind of the identity of what Peyton in the city was, because Peyton was a robot to becoming great, and he was a great personality. He was beloved. So whenever he went to Denver, there was a lot of people that did not like football in Indiana. There were either race fans or basketball fans, because basketball is huge here, both with the Pacers and IU. And the race, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, hosts the largest sporting event in the world. 400,000 people come to the Super Bowl of IndyCar here. So they became football fans because of Peyton Manning. So then when Peyton Manning gets cut, right, which is what happened. And he's emotional at his press conference when he's leaving, like, "Hey, I love you." I think he has a children's hospital here.
Yeah.
There are so many dogs and kids named Peyton around here. You have no. So when he goes to Denver, I completely understood that people were going to become Broncos fans. But there was a lot of people that came to the city later and on our team that were like, "Well, fuck these people, man. They don't like us," or whatever. And it was like, I don't think you get what this dude was, though, and what he represented, because I think a lot of his teammates don't get anywhere near enough credit. I mean, I was with a bunch of them this weekend. There's a lot of Hall of Famers that are on that team that were incredible. But Peyton was like the lifeline to the people of the Colts, even though they loved Reggie and they loved Edgerrin James and Freeney and Mathis and Gary Brackett and Jeff Saturday and all of those. I mean, Dean, Joseph Adai, Clint Sesh. I could go through that entire team that was just Charlie Johnson. It was riddled with, Dominic Rhodes is one of the coolest dudes of all time. Nobody ever really talks about him. He was hilarious. There was just a group of people, and that was some of them. There was a group of people that were really a big part of building it here, but Peyton was kind of the face of that. So when they left, they went over there. A lot of Tom Brady fans around Indy, though, when he went to Tampa, but not as many as I thought it was going to be. They still hate Tom, and they still hate the New England Patriots, which is probably how it is for everybody. I wonder if that's ever going to stop.
I don't know. I've liked Tom more now.
Me too.
He's left New England a little bit, but not that much.
Oh, so it's not like, hey, because I've enjoyed him. He did an interview with Howard right? He did that Zoom call with
In the
Howard
offseason.
Stern. It was like an hour and a half, and you got a chance to like kind of listen to him talk a little bit. And he never really buried New England ever in that hour and a half, which is fascinating because all the stories that came out. Now the man in the arena where he's choosing to have other people's documentaries basically happen within his documentary because he knows it's going to happen. Tonight, Vrabel's on it. Let's fucking go.
That's going to be awesome.
incredible.
Hey, let's go. I mean, Brewski's obviously incredibly talented at speaking. He does good on ESPN. But if fucking Vrabes is on an open mic,
Must watch TV.
let's go, dude.
Yeah, he'll bury Brady a few times.
Oh,
too.
yeah, about how good the defense is. And if they have Brewski and Vrabel on there, I mean, it's like one of the way Tom is allowing it to happen, as opposed to what happened with the other one, right? We got Scottie Pippen doing,
of course,
like answer documentary.
Right, yeah.
You know, like that whole thing. It's Tom's doing it in a fashion where he got to learn, at least from the way The Last Dance went. But Tom, I think, is trying to actually let people know, like, he understands that it wasn't just him. But I don't think a lot of people view it that way. They hate just his ass. They think it's him that did everything.
Well, and it's weird, too, because, like, being a fan of the Packers, like, in the NFC, like, I never really hated Tom that much, you know? I mean, the Packers played the Patriots so rarely. And, I mean, it was kind of one of those things where, like, he keeps winning. You're like, fuck this guy. I'm kind of tired of seeing him. But it is. Like, even with them being in the NFC, like, he's just... And it's probably one of those things, too, and we talk about it all the time, like with Peyton and how Indianapolis, like, you know, there's still good fans here, but the whole thing kind of regresses when you lose a guy like that.
Yes.
And, like, being able to watch him leave and just thinking, like, there's no way that he's going to go to Tampa and turn this thing around right away. And then he does, and it's like, you can't help but just marvel at the guy's
Well, how about
greatness.
season tickets sold out immediately upon him signing? I think the jerseys went up through the roof, everything. They hosted the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl there. They're back in conversation. That hadn't happened since Allstott was running people out.
Right.
That's right.
That hadn't happened for a long, long time down in Tampa, although they had a team, obviously, an electrifying team with Jameis. Hey, those games had to be awesome to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Especially live. The amount of, the amount of swings that were happening. Most touchdowns, most interceptions. Think about how electrifying that would be to watch. It was. I caught myself watching some of his games that year because you had no idea. He was going to keep his team in it. He was going to keep their team in it. It was awesome. He was the game all by himself. But then insert Tom, boom, we won a Super Bowl.
New franchise.
There's the amount of, what are those things called? And now Florida hit a home run too because, I mean, there are tax policies. And also during COVID, they were one of the only states that just said, come on.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll be all right.
I mean, they really
Legit.
did. The amount of people that moved to Florida. I mean, there was a lot of people that moved to Florida because even if they were in a part of Florida where you couldn't really go or do anything, at least you're in warm weather and you could maybe see something. So people were leaving there where they were. If I'm going to be locked down somewhere, I'd rather go down. You win a Super Bowl and Florida is becoming a destination place for people to move. The amount of cranes that are around Tampa Bay, they're built that. Tom has shown up, and I'm not saying it's just Tom. This is just like when Peyton showed up to the Colts and the Colts became a thing. It was just Peyton, but it seemed Tom showed up in Tampa Bay in this place. The Lightning have won their Stanley Cups, even though they did that before Tom got there. It's still like the spotlight on the entire city is
The Rays were just in the World
The
Series in baseball.
whole city has become the place, which is what Boston used to be, right? And then Tom gets kicked out of town, basically, which I think is going to be the final episode of Man in the Arena.
Oh, what do you mean used to be? I mean, we're back already. Let's not.
The Bruins stink. Hey,
that's right.
Hey, Bruins stink.
Yeah, they do.
The
You
Bruins
know
stink.
better than
Yeah,
anybody.
they stink.
Hockey doesn't start till February. Okay, we know that.
Yeah.
And to your point about the Patriots being back again, which is definitely what you just said. If the Colts didn't get Andrew Luck right after Peyton Manning, how much do you think that would have kind of made it worse for Peyton?
No, for Peyton?
Like,
What
do you
mean?
think people would have kind of hated Peyton more if
No,
they
no,
didn't
no.
just have this guy?
No, the way it ended with Peyton got broken up with.
because you got cut.
Peyton was the hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Peyton got broken up with. He was not the one that decided. Now, granted, there was a lot of circumstances revolving that where I'm not sure if Jim Irsay or anybody knew if Peyton was going to be able to play quarterback because of what was going on with his neck. And there was a lockout, I think, happening. And there was like a $30 million bonus or $20 million bonus. And then Andrew Luck's also sitting there. So I think there was a lot that built up that people were okay and understood that Jim Irsay had to make the decision he had to make. But if Andrew Luck stinks, and even though Andrew Luck's career wasn't 20 years, he was so fucking good at football.
Yeah.
If Andrew Luck stinks, though, Peyton is... They're probably asking Peyton to come buy the team.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come back and buy the team. I don't think it's going the other way. Now, if for you guys, if you guys didn't get Mac Jones here, who seems to be a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to be a guy who fell right to you guys. He was supposed to go at 3.
Yeah.
Remember, he was supposed to go at 3.
And then at 11.
He could have gone at 11.
Yeah,
he could have gone anywhere. Anybody that is currently in the, we don't have a quarterback bed, could have gone up there and made a play. And instead, he falls to half the draft to the Patriots.
Yeah.
So that means everybody had an opportunity. This is like when a movie comes out and you're not allowed to talk about the spoiler for so long, but it waits long enough. It's like, all right, everybody had enough of their chances to fucking watch it. We're going to talk about it. 15 or 16, where was it? 15?
We picked at 15. So
15 is far enough in there where everybody had their fucking shot to get in there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get to 13 or 14, you could have with some basic ass shit that we have seen people give up much less for.
Yeah.
So Mac Jones fell all the way to New England.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was that night where we all said, draft night, by the way, was awesome. I can't wait for next year.
Me too.
I was offered like $6,000 to go cover the draft on a network.
Whoa.
Really?
Next year, yeah.
Breaking the
turn that down?
And
bank.
you said no.
Well, I'm still thinking about it. I actually haven't answered. I actually haven't
for the
answered.
upcoming.
Yeah, what's that?
For the upcoming one.
Yeah, for the upcoming draft.
Okay.
Yeah, if I wanted to settle aside some
think
time.
about
Who gave you that offer? QVC?
No, it was great. It was great. It has not been returned, but Draft Spectacular Night was incredible. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
We had bow ties on last year.
That's right.
You have both.
I had a bow tie.
Magic tricks.
We had magic tricks. We did have magic tricks.
Carl
And
Magic.
walking out.
No. Jason Glazer and Mel Kiper.
Yeah, and also
and-
a waiter in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Remember, you kind of just shoved him out.
Oh,
of
yeah, in the room.
Yeah, and he came back out. I was like,
You walked out.
Oh,
He walked
yeah.
in.
It was
He walked
great.
out. You walked in.
I can't wait to see what happens next
And it's
draft.
Vegas.
Unless I take that $6,000
And
offer.
which, man, all the power to
Maybe
you,
you should
'cause
get that Mickey Mouse
that'd be awesome.
magician who hangs from the stadium for this year in Vegas.
Chris Angel, all right, he'll be a part of the draft spectacular. Lock it in. How much is he going to cost? A lot.
$6,000 probably.
Adele's doing Las Vegas. I wonder if she's taking Chris Angel's stage. You think?
Adele?
She's doing a residency over there?
no
think
one
she's
takes
taking-
Chris Angel's
That's what
stage.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well,
No
he'll just pop one up too. I mean, he's magic.
Boom.
I'm going right there.
I'm cutting you in half. I'm moving you over here. I'm putting your legs down yonder. We got to do our thing. Anyways, maybe Chris Angel will cut somebody in half in the next draft spectacular. Maybe he won't.
Here we go.
We'll see. We'll see.
TBD.
We will see if it happens. But this past draft spectacular, whenever we saw Mac Jones do the Joker walk onto the stage, look so uncomfortably awkward, we said, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
We literally, "Oh no! How did this happen?" And then as it continued to roll on, it has happened. It feels like you guys have found your guy. He's tough as fuck
Oh,
too.
yeah.
He takes shots and then he gets right. He is like the spitting. And although Tom had to wait 199 picks, if you thought you were going at 3 and you didn't go till 15, you could see how he could potentially build up some spite in that entire department and enough to keep his competitive stamina, especially with the GOAT Bill Belichick probably telling him what the fuck's going to happen the day before the game, like we're learning he did in Man in the Arena for Tom Brady. I mean,
Yeah.
it is absurd. Put those rankings back up. Where were you guys probably, you think, at the beginning of the year?
Oh, at the beginning of the year, I think we were at like 23.
And everybody, remember the Dolphins were going to finish higher than you
Yeah,
guys.
the Dolphins had better odds.
Remember, I got fucking killed.
Annihilated.
I did.
Slaughtered.
I
Not
got
even-
slaughtered on the internet.
Just for saying it's weird that the Patriots have lower odds than the Finns. Not saying the Patriots are definitely
Throwaway.
going to finish.
I mean, I guess I did bring light to it. Like the Dolphins are favored to finish higher than the Patriots in the AFC East. That's crazy. Like, didn't even think about it as being malicious at all.
No.
Like, I didn't think. The Dolphin did.
Yeah.
And I got crucified for it. And now what are the Patriots? 5th in this week. Last week they were 9th. It's like, yeah, they're only yodeling, and only getting fucking hotter. It's unbelievable. But there's one person that remains atop, and he's standing at the top of the mountain with 9 fucking toes.
That's right.
We'll talk to Aaron Rodgers in about an hour and a half. I cannot wait to hear what he has to say. We have to get to a break. We'll be back on the other side with some phone calls on the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Cannot wait to hear what people want to talk about. I mean, Seahawks on Russ's birthday.
They're dead.
In the nation's capital, amongst old friends for Russell, his first performance in the nation's capital in some time. Hey, politicians that we gather around with at the compound in Seattle. Hey, people of the nation's capital that make decisions that I've done videos with and for and around. Hey, I'm coming in here to put on a show while your stadium is going to have poop water leaking in the suite.
Yeah.
Again, that's 2 poop water leaks in one season,
yep.
and they're still in the playoffs. Shout out to everybody over here.
Shout out.
6 exposés, 2 poop leaks.
Yep.
New book coming out.
Another book on the way.
Yeah.
Robert Griffin III saying "Surviving Washington" book.
Whoa.
Look at.
Now they're winning games.
Winning football games.
Boom. That's Heineke, baby.
Heineke is another Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is Fitzmagic. You got a chance to watch Fitzmagic for a few weeks, maybe osmosis, a couple things.
Yep.
He's Fitzmagic going forward. Old Dominion, dude.
Yeah. ODU, baby.
Could you imagine just slinging it? Like, he's like Tommy Maddox out there at the grocery store. You know, in that movie where they threw the toilet paper and it hit the old buddy?
Little Giants.
Little Giants. I think Tommy Maddox and Kurt Warner were actually doing it, right? Wasn't Kurt Warner throwing the toilet paper around?
Oh, yeah.
His
Groceries.
movie is.
Yeah, we'll see in his new.
You didn't see
It's
it.
already out. It's
Yeah,
out.
you didn't see it.
No
it's out
spoilers.
already?
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers,
It
guys. Come
was
on.
out. Siskel, Ever.
2 of them right up.
2 thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
I heard.
I cannot wait
The
to.
acting is unbelievable.
Well,
Really?
Tony's just being an asshole right now.
Yeah.
And, you
No, he
know,
brought in Siskel and Ebert. One of them's dead. And
Yeah,
he said
I
2
know.
thumbs
I think
up.
both are.
I've heard it's the most Mickey Mouse movie in the history of
Well,
film.
Disney-
No. Kurt
Disney
Warner gave
did
us a
it.
great interview. What are we even doing right now?
did.
Kurt Warner's a hell of a football player. He was throwing toilet paper in the bathroom.
That's right.
Kurt should have been the main character. He didn't actually act as Kurt Warner.
It
was
comes
someone
out
else.
December 17th. Nobody knows.
Okay.
I got an advance copy.
No, you didn't.
Are
I
you
did.
sure?
Tony got a
I
screen
thought
card.
it was out this
Zeno
weekend.
just checked. You guys are the worst humans of all time.
Are you sure? I thought it got pushed up.
I thought it was out too because I seen in a movie theater his picture on there, so I
Yeah.
assumed they were running it. It's not coming out till the holiday season.
What?
You
They-
asshole.
No, they said
No.
Tone is the foremost mentioned quarterback expert on the planet. Here's an advance copy.
You?
That's what Disney said.
Is Disney the one that made it?
Not a chance.
I
I
don't think
could have
so.
Oh, it was.
swore.
There's 2 dates they're giving us. It's Christmas Day and the 17th. So
I swear
I don't
it
know
was
what
out.
day it
So you're
actually
probably
is.
getting that early screening.
It was the same
17th.
director as
Yeah.
Airbud, dude.
No, it's,
I,
we're
for
back.
one, can't wait.
I think
Me
it's
neither.
out.
I'm very excited to watch this.
plans are decided, my friend.
I'm
We're
pretty
back
sure
in
it's
4
out.
minutes. No, you guys
I
are
really am
disgusting.
sure.
How dare you?
You
I'm
are,
sick,
that
man.
is not what our show stands for.
No.
Not at all.
We like to talk about things we know about. You guys clearly could not have watched that movie, and we're just telling people not to watch it.
Yeah, what the hell's that about?
I watched.
We
a
watched the
movie
preview, so it was enough.
this weekend.
Well,
See, you guys are the problem. You're reading the headlines.
Well, in
you guys are
these-
just reading the headline. What?
In these guys' defense, that was one of the most Mickey Mouse trailers.
No!
And listen, hey,
I
Kurt
swear.
Warner went to UNI. That's 15 minutes from where I grew up. I want to love this thing. Boy, they may have.
No, we're getting to a break.
They may have
Do
missed
not-
the mark.
I love
Trailer
Kurt.
wasn't finished
Still
yet.
love you, Kurt.
I love Kurt Warner. He gave New England their first Super Bowl.
All right.
Don't get
We
me
got to get to
wrong.
it. You're an asshole. You're a bad person. We will watch this movie, and we will pay massive amounts of respect to it.
Yeah, can't wait.
American underdog.
Thought it was out. I really did.
It's not the
Airbud,
17th.
American
Who's playing
Underdog.
Dick Vermeil?
Dennis Quaid.
Mike Martz is played by somebody.
All right, let's get to it. We're back in 4 minutes, dude. This show's terrible. It'll get better on the other side, I promise. Kurt Warner, I apologize for these stooges.
Hey, it's
No,
these guys.
I love Kurt. Yeah, it's these guys.
I love Kurt.
All right, we're back in 4. I do too. You guys clearly don't, though.
They cast
He's
some
the
Mooch
best.
in there too.
Oh,
yeah.
Steve Mariucci's in it?
No
We love
way.
him. That's what you guys hate Mooch?
No,
I love Mooch. That's why I said
Steven
it's a great
Seagal's
movie.
playing Mooch.
All right, we're back. We're back in 4 minutes. See ya. I hate a lot of people for the way that they acted after that Friday thing. Do you? There's no way you're isolated enough that you don't hear any. You had to have heard. There's some massive names, politicians. I mean, your name has been spoke by a lot of people. Are you just because you're like, hey, love will cure this thing? How are you not going to hold a grudge, everybody? And do you know that you're probably never going to win an MVP again? That's probably never going to happen, right?
I think that's legitimate statement.
Legit though, like that. There's a lot of people that vote for that I think are not fan. Like, how do you isolate that? How do you stay away from that? Because you're talking about everybody on earth talking about you. That's not getting you down at all. I don't know. That's incredible mental toughness if that's the case.
Well, you know what? I think first, if you find your identity in yourself and you don't find your identity in the opinions of others, you don't need that validation and that love from other people. You can get it from yourself, and that's not being selfish. That's just learning how to in a healthy way, love yourself and respect yourself and believe in yourself. And it definitely was tested, by some of the comments that I heard. And so I'm human. I mean, stuff can definitely hurt your feelings. But look, I shared an opinion that is polarizing. I get it. And I misled some people about my status, which I take full responsibility of, those comments. But in the end, I have to stay true to who I am and what I'm about. And I stand behind the things that I said, and I, have a ton of empathy for people who have been going through the worst part of this pandemic, which has affected all of us in different ways. But so many people, like I said, with lives that were lost, lives that were forever changed, and I have a ton of compassion and empathy for those people. And I've tried to help out, as much as I can.
Yeah.
The other stuff is so out of my control, and there's going to be people that don't like you and and hate you for things you said, or might not even understand what you said or know what you said. It might just see a headline, and that's fine. I believe that people are entitled to their opinion, and even if it's an opinion that's unfavorable of me. But I'm going to continue to try and be the best version of me moving forward, and I'm excited about getting back on the field as soon as possible.
Hey, do you know if offense or defense is getting introduced this week in your game? And have you thought about it all, like what the reaction may be if offense is introduced and you're the last guy out? Have you thought about that?
I think it is offense, and I'm excited. There's nothing like running out of that tunnel last, especially.
You think it'll be different one way anyway than your normal, how they normally respond?
I don't know. I hope not.
They should show that on the network.
Oh, that clip will make its way.
Oh, yeah.
That clip will make its way around. I assume Raj had to walk in there and do a full, you know what I mean?
Yeah, curtsy.
Hey, we're bringing a big sports stooge thing over here. Is that okay? Yep, deal. Perfect. Let's get some tea. Let's get the fuck out of here. How do you think that went between Raj and the Queen? You think she liked them?
Yeah. I bet she liked him. She probably knows a lot. Like, what if she's sitting there and then all of a sudden she's like, so what about the Deshaun Watson situation? What about the Deshaun Watson situation? What about the Deshaun Watson situation? That was spot on accent.
Hit that one out of the park.
Like, what if she's really dialed in to the NFL?
Whoa, a little rock. Woo. As we come back into this first hour. We talk sports and rock. Yeah. With AJ Hawk. Yeah. This is not a mock. Yeah. Of a song that's rock. Yeah. Sports talk. Sports talk and rock with AJ Hawk. Yeah. Rock. Hell yeah. And AJ Sports and talking on the rock. Yeah. The bone. Yeah. Go on home with AJ Hawk. It's rock. Yeah. Sports. Yeah. Talk. Yeah. Welcome back to the McAfee Show. What a fucking joke, dude. Imagine if that's the first thing somebody heard or saw of us.
You're welcome.
I assume you're changing the dial.
Immediately.
Well, they know what they're getting.
No, well, I don't think they
Sports
should.
talk
I don't know how
rock,
much
man.
more of that we're going to be able to give. There's 49,000 people watching. What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
29,000 people watching. What'd you say? Jesus. 29. I was going to say 49. Should have stopped. Oh, my God. We got to dial it in if it's 49,000 people.
Oh,
29,000 people. Still got to, I guess, focus a little bit.
Well, I mean, if it's just 29, you could just throw the.
We can probably get ready. We have a concert right now. Yeah. Listen, who is all done? Oh, yeah.
Plug that thing into an amp.
I mean, why not let this thing bang? Yes. I'm playing this. Man, we're doing it, dude. Hey, it's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday with this rock song say. We talk sports with AJ. Hawk on every Tuesday.
Can't nobody tell me.
No. Welcome back. Imagine if somebody started at the beginning of that, then heard us say, imagine if somebody heard that, and then us going right back.
Right back, yeah.
They'd be so frustrated with the, why do these people have a show game? But we don't understand it either. But there is some things that we should talk about that aren't just, rock songs.
No. Sure.
We should dive into something we know about. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in an interesting position. Listen, we all know they stink right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we had a moment of silence yesterday, our longest moment of silence to date, about the streak that Mike Tomlin has that's definitely probably coming to an end here of never having a losing season as a head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're talking decade and a half here now, never having a losing season. A lot of changes, a lot of injuries. The game has changed completely. The turnover of the roster has been immense. You're talking brand new people, brand new era. Tomlin has remained a winner somehow through it all. Now, there hasn't been times where the Yinzers haven't got a little bit too content and said, we want to see if the grass is greener on the other side. Get him out of here. And everybody from other football cities said, you motherfuckers are the most spoiled fan base, aside from the Patriots, of all time. And I think Yinzers actually kind of agreed with that. They're like, you know what, you're right. We could be the Browns. We could be the Lions. We could do this. And Mike Tomlin's legacy, I think, is cemented in Pittsburgh forever. I think people will love him forever. But when they lose this year, and this is why we had a moment of silence yesterday for his streak that is incredible in the NFL of never having a losing season, basically. His streak is going to end. It's going to get loud over there.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to get real loud. It's already starting to kind of tear apart at the seams, it sounds like. Non-Pittsburgh Steeler-like shit has been happening now, not just this year, for the last couple years, but it's been the evolution of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you got to think about the Pittsburgh Steelers through the lens of where they come from. Pittsburgh is a hilarious city, okay? I am from there. Diggs is from there. Nick is from there. Our families, everything like that. Pittsburgh, I think, is a... How is your family?
They're sad right now.
A lot of gabagool, okay, in Pittsburgh. Hardworking people, though, that literally their morale and mood is based off of how the Pittsburgh Steelers do. You're talking football city through and through. Football saved a lot of lives. Football has gotten people through a lot of times in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers at one point being asked to be America's team before the Dallas Cowboys, Rooney Sr. actually said, we don't want to be fucking America's team. We want to be Pittsburgh's team. You're talking about deep roots between the Steelers and the city of Pittsburgh and how everything operates. Last couple of years, some things have changed. There's dancing on, obviously, logos. There's TikToking. As the world is changing, I think some Yinzers are finding themselves wishing for a time that isn't anymore with old school shut up, smash mouth football, do what you do. But if you win, the Yinzers don't mind. Now that the Yinzers are starting to see a team that seems to be on a decline, a team that is not what it once was, maybe staring down a rebuild, especially with Ben Roethlisberger seemingly having his arm fall off as he goes into retirement here. Now there's words coming out of the locker room. Minka Fitzpatrick says we got to go about doing some things differently week in, week out. Maybe we can address some things within ourselves to change how things are going, get more consistent with how we move throughout the week. Shout out to Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. Then Chase Claypool comes out, and Chase Claypool says, you know what I think would work? Chase Claypool in his second year, by the way. Chase Claypool says, you know what I think would work? We need music at practice. Yeah? We need music at practice. Yeah. Along those lines, he said he needs music at practice. That's what the headline was, at least. I don't know how he delivered it. I should have done better in looking into it. And by the way, I too am somebody that would appreciate music at practice. Now, as a punter of a team, I would never say that aloud, okay? Chase Claypool has made a lot of plays. He is a big name. He obviously was just maybe saying what he thought would be better. But anytime something like that happens, that gives people more reason to believe that your locker rooms may be separated. Not everybody's on the same page. Then Cam Hayward comes out and says, I think he was joking. I hope he was joking. When I heard that, I wanted to rip the speaker out or something like that. It's like, okay. So Cam Hayward's like, hey, Chase, come on. Don't need that to be happening. Shout out to DVE, by the way. DVE rocks, by the way. Listen to them through my whole... And then Mike Tomlin was now asked to address the Chase Claypool conversation about music at practice. And this is being reported by Andrew Siciliano.
Okay.
Claypool. Claypool plays. Claypool plays wide out, and I'll let him do that, says Mike Tomlin. I'll formulate the practice approach, and I think that division of labor is appropriate. What a fucking answer. That's how Tomlin ended his press conference about Chase Claypool suggesting music during practice. But this is what happens when you lose. When you win, none of these things matter. Okay? Chase Claypool, after a win, saying, I think we should have music at practice. Then there would be some joke and he'd keep it moving. But all these little things get spotlighted, highlighted, and amplified whenever your team is losing, especially in Pittsburgh that hasn't experienced loss much at all throughout a season. So it's crazy what's going on with the Steelers. Are they going to have to tear that whole fucker down, Diggs? What's going on over there?
Losing is one thing, okay? Losing the way that they're losing is another thing, where it seems as if the Steeler way has been lost. I mean,
That's not good.
I talked to some of my steelworker friends yesterday, and the only time they listened to music in the steel mills was when the job was done, and they did put on WDVE because that's how it is. Mm-hmm. And the sad part is, and you're seeing it right now, is Tomlin had to address what was said by Ryan Clark and Chris Hoke and other Steelers legends the last few weeks, that they can't recognize the play on the field. They can't recognize what's going on in that building. And Tomlin came out and basically said, you know what, those guys are right.
Yes, I'm literally looking at that tweet right now.
Like the guys in the room right now have no fucking idea what's going on. And that is the part that drives me insane. And I assume most Yinzers and Pittsburghers insane.
Okay, so Yinzers should look at that as Chase Claypool saying, hey, we need to change this. And Tomlin's like, yeah, you know what we do need to change? These motherfuckers need to remember what was what. And I appreciate that Tomlin has enough respect for, Ryan Clark and everybody that has played before him. He said, and I asked him this whenever he came on the show, because out of all the NFL teams, that one feels the most like a college. And I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say that without knowing everybody's alumni setup, but in Pittsburgh, there's only been a few head coaches, same ownership family, same PR people, same trainers, same everything. So guys go back, and it is like a welcome back. It's like a reunion. And they're like, it's a dog blitz. The two off the edge blitz. It's been called the same thing since the steel curtain. So even some of the old defensive players can talk to the current defensive players about some of the play calls that have remained the same. Like, I found that very cool with Tomlin and with the Steelers organization. And now Tomlin is like, yeah, the alumni, listen, I'm with them. Like, we don't know what's going on out here. And I think I appreciate the fact that Yinzers are probably feeling the same exact way. Cam Hayward, who's the OG on the team now, he's the next Hall of Famer probably coming out. He is the guy that has to set the standard. I wonder how he feels about it all. He has to be a bit torn.
And his dad, Ironhead, from the city, familiar with the city. So Cam, knows the roots and stuff like that. And this is why I fought with the Juju Bees last year, because you could see the way slipping with all that bullshit dancing on the logos and shit like that. That's why it drove me so insane and showing.
Oh, so you're saying that was just a little
And who
bit.
do you think was fucking tutoring Chase Claypool? Fucking Juju. And now it's going to keep going and going. And who's going to put a fucking end to it?
You?
I know I don't have that power.
Maybe Nosh. Maybe Nosh. Maybe E. Yinzer. Maybe E. Yinzer is the guy to end it. I don't know how you change and get your culture back if you lost your culture, but did they really, or did it have to evolve with the modern technology? I don't know, because Juju, I feel like, is at the upper echelon of social media users. I mean, he's very good. He's setting himself up for an incredible post-playing career.
Yeah.
Incredible. Money that people will have no clue how to fathom. But whenever you are a team that is used to just, hey, we're going to go fight people. Even when they were passing the ball a lot, it was still like, hey, this is a physical team, a tough team, dudes that are going to go out there and do it. It does seem to be a little bit different. But once again, when you lose, this is what happens. This is how it goes when you lose. Every single team in the history of teams, especially if they're teams that care about winning, are sore losers. And anybody that says that, you're a sore loser is a bad thing, it's like, okay, because I care more than you, I get more upset about this. I understand I'm a sore loser. I wish you cared more. And everybody doesn't have to act the same way, but every single fan base has sore losers within it. And the sore loser thing is pointing out all the bullshit that you couldn't point out that was happening when you were winning, because winning cures all.
I don't know if it actually would make sense, because he hasn't been playing very well, but like when you hear someone like Hayward say that, like obviously the defense, like those guys, I feel like kind of fall in line with that, but like you look at like someone like Peyton, like this shit, and granted, guys are different now, like the players who are coming in, the younger receivers, but like isn't part of that on Ben to kind of like you need a guy on the offensive side too to like right the ship and be like, hey, this isn't the way we fucking do shit. Like I feel like you need someone on both sides of the ball, especially when you've had a quarterback who's won multiple Super Bowls and who has been around and has seen stuff and knows how to be successful.
The standard is the standard, right? That is always the thing. The standard is only carried though by whoever can maintain it, and I think that has to be passed down. So Ben setting the standard in the locker room, you would think it would come from the quarterback, but everybody's different, man. You know, people lead in different fashions. Do as I say, you know, and then some is do as I do. Watch me, follow me. I mean, I've never been on the same team as Ben. I've heard about Ben. I've learned some things about Ben. I don't know how he is as like a vocal leader in the locker room.
And I don't think that's ever been Ben. Unfortunately, it was always, it was Heath, it was Hines, it was Pouncey, DeCastro, fucking Villanueva. And now all those, it was basically the old
Now it's just Cam Hayward, right?
Now,
and TJ.
Yeah.
I mean, Tomlin, too. Like, I feel like it's kind of similar to New England where it's Bill who sets everything.
And Tennessee, I guess Vrabel is like one of the guys in the locker room almost.
Yeah.
And I feel, what if they just wrote a fucking check to Lincoln Riley for $110 million.
Ooh.
Okay, $110 million at USC. He gets a $1 million bonus, which comes in the form of them buying both of the houses he has in Norman, $500,000 over asking price.
Yep.
They'll also give him a $6 million home in LA and unlimited use of a private jet 24/7 for he and his family.
Smart.
USC, which we learned a lot about, those boosters would spend a lot of money to get their dumbass kids just into the classes. Yeah. I assume they were not above spending a lot of money to get their team back into prominence so that they can brag amongst other uber wealthy boosters of other programs that are potentially doing better than theirs.
Well, and you see this, and it's like, how could anyone fault Lincoln Riley? It's like, who the fuck's going to say no to that? He left kids, he backstabbed everyone. Like, hey, guess what? That's a pretty sweet gig.
As an adult, I can understand completely. As a player that had our coach leave and go to Michigan in the middle of, in my life, a terrible time, but also we had one more year with Pat White and we had one more year with our team. When Rich went to Michigan, it was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking is an interesting way, because I did celebrate him departing because he made life very, very difficult as a player. But hindsight, looking back, like one more year, what we could have potentially accomplished, like those jobs are still going to be available. I wonder if he thinks about that. But when you look at that deal that was offered for Lincoln Riley, because you think about how these negotiations go. Hey, how about USC? I really like Norman. I mean, we go to the playoffs. We're moving into the SEC. I got these two beautiful homes. There's boosters that take care of me. We got everybody's transfer portaling in here to play in my system. We're really good. We're going to win. I love it. You got two homes, you said? Yeah. Yeah, by the way, that's a whole nother thing. True. All right, we'll buy both of them, $500,000 over asking price for both of them. Link's like, God damn, should have relisted
good
that.
Offer.
Okay.
But that is a good offer. Is that cash? Absolutely. What about traveling around for my family? Nobody lives in California. My family's all here. Basically, everybody uprooted a private plane anytime you want it. Anytime I want, 24/7, anytime you want. Okay, they're paying me really good here. They got oil money here too. How about $110 million guaranteed?
Oh,
fuck. All right.
Real estate's expensive.
I guess I'll text the team. I'm sorry, boys. You can all transfer, though. We'd love you. The team stinks.
Yeah.
Come on over. And
California.
with this NIL deal, I think we can find some boosters that'll be able to pay for some apartments. This won't be like Reggie Bush losing his thing. Let's go ahead and do this. Good for USC, good for Lincoln Riley. Obviously stinks for Oklahoma, but I think Oklahoma's going to be able to find somebody or get somebody that's great to go over there.
Yeah.
But and then Brian Kelly to LSU, $95 million or something like that. Sent a text overnight. Hey, boys, we got to meet at 7 a.m. You might saw some of the headlines I'll address. I wish I would have told you first. But goddamn, I flew down here. It's warm, man. Hey, it's warm. My face is going to hit a different shade of purple down in this humidity. But we got some teams. And by the way, transfer on down to Baton Rouge here, and they're going to pay me $95 million. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
See, and I think this one makes more sense with what you were talking about. Like, Notre Dame could still play in the playoff this year.
Yes.
Like, if I were those players, I would be fucking pissed that he left right now. Like, it's possible that they're still alive. Like, Oklahoma, they got beat on Saturday night. That was kind of the end of their season. But like this, it's like, okay, that's a fucking scumbag move.
Yeah, well, Brian Kelly's down in SEC. I think he's going to learn life might be a little bit different. Who goes to Notre Dame? Luke Fickell? Whoa!
Has to.
Hour 2 is on the other side with AJ Hawk. Cheers. potentially staring down a losing season for the first time in 20 years.
Jesus. Damn.
Wow, damn. Moment of silence, dude. All right, I should stand for this one. It's a big one.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. It's a day, 20 years, a long time.
Seven more minutes.
It can be done. I mean, we signed Josh Freeman and Ryan Lindley, brought them in for a Tuesday workout, signed them. They were in the meeting room on Wednesday. You remember, Pat, I told the whole team, I said, hey, just mind your own business. Everybody do your frickin' job. Don't watch one snap of either of these guys. Do not watch any of fucking practice. Hold on. No judgment. Trust our coaches, trust our offensive staff. They'll get these two guys ready to go. And sure enough, we went and beat the Titans, to finish the season 8-8. It was one of the most memorable wins we had, because of how we did it.
I think so. And Josh Freeman and Ryan Lindley, obviously incredible people, and they came in. And you did say in your Tuesday presser, I've told this story before, where we'll have a package for Pat McAfee. And I was like, wait a fucking minute, it's the last game of the season. Okay, we've lost 10 quarterbacks. There's no way I'm dying right now out there. But that was obviously a joke, obviously. But you bring in Freeman and Lindley, you making the proclamation to the team before they came in. Hey, do not watch, all right? Just don't judge. No judgment. No judgment. Do not watch. And then me and Vinatieri, obviously, immediately upon hearing that, we're like, all right, so we got to go fucking watch this guy. And it was bad. That first day of practice was bad. I mean, it was bad. Thursday, you still banging the drum here. Hey, let's not judge. Let's just keep putting in the work. Let's just keep going. It started looking a little bit better. None of us could have expected getting that win on Sunday. You're right. That is a very memorable game, and it's because of the adverse conditions that we're under,
Yeah, no doubt about it. And if you guys could have been at the workout on Tuesday, you would have said, no freaking way do you sign these two guys. Because you remember Josh Freeman had a cannon, right? Yeah. So you know how Frog and T and those guys had set up at the different areas? Like if you're throwing, quick game, you got a quick out or a slant, and then you go, 5-step drop, 7-step drop. He didn't complete one pass. He almost threw the football. He tore up their hands, number one. Number two, the balls were bouncing off the indoor like BBs off a tin can. Almost threw a football through the wall of the indoor facility. And then we go, okay, that's good, Josh. Ryan, you're up. So then we get Ryan in there, right? Ryan's accurate as shit, but he's got zero velocity on the ball, right? It's taking forever. And I'm asking T and Frog, because they know, our two equipment guys, what do you think? He goes, man, that's an easy ball to catch. I mean, it's barely coming in here, Coach. I don't know if he's going to have to anticipate his throws really well. So I'm thinking, holy shit. And I'm like, is there anybody? That's it. Coney Island Josh Freeman was playing for the Coney Island Thrashers at the time, serving, soft serve ice cream at halftime for $250 a game. And Ryan Lindley, he was driving Uber. He was hanging out in New York City. He was driving Uber at the time. His girlfriend was training for the Olympics, and he was in New York City driving
those great guys.
Uber.
Hey, listen, a lot of ricochet shots.
Unbelievable.
Hey, these guys, unbelievable. Hey, the gabagool on these guys, Coach. Honestly, they were very good, but the system crashed out. Only one camera is of use at this moment. For those that are watching at home, we apologize. This must be a Feel Good Friday.
I can't believe that the cameras aren't working on today of all days.
Yeah, well, I mean, if
this is the universe.
Oh, hey, pal. How you doing?
Gabagool. Wow! We're going! I need a nice cold Bud Light.
Oh, you're fucking out!
How's your fan?
Maybe a couple whiskeys.
What? boy. 80,000 individual eyes that are looking at these eyes right now. What the fuck are you doing?
Two scotches.
What? Are you kidding me?
Tequila. What?
55, 56, 63. That's how many new wrinkles I'm going to bring to the office.
I get things done, Patty.
Vodka. What?
He said I was on meth. I ain't ever done meth.
Dirty dressed up like Russell Wilson.
Margarita. What?
He's Brett Michaels.
You're fucking out. More ice cold Bud Light. What? More ice cold Bud Light. What? More ice cold Bud Light. What?
What?
Ice cold.
Cheers.
Thanks everybody for watching.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, hour 2 on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 30th.
Wow.
It's already.
My God.
Begins right now.
Yeah.
Talks tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, the Hammer Down Cowboy. That is Tone Diggs, who will be guiding us into our Super Boost heater that starts on Thursday. Is here as well. The other Hammer Down Cowboys in the back alongside Foxy, Zito, Frank, Bill, Mitt, the whole boys and crew. Let's go ahead and have an Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, hour 2, with a man who's joining us from an attic in Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, and a guy who falls asleep when he's driving, AJ Hawk. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? Actually, I got an early screener of that Kurt Warner movie. It's legit. I will not stand for much more slam.
Me neither, because the boys acted as if they seen it. They had not. It doesn't come out
It
till
looks like real NFL footage, too. Like, especially if you look at the poster for the movie, all the trailers,
lighting.
it looks so, like, real.
Yeah, it looks like they spent every dollar they could to make sure that it was legitimate for how great Kurt
Jersey
Warner's
fits perfect. Uniform fits perfect, just like NFL ones.
I think they got that one actor guy.
Oh, yeah, Zach Levi, the way he throws the football and holds the football.
You know
Throw
what
the ball.
the
Please
meme,
throw the ball.
You know what
yeah.
meme I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he drops
back to pass.
Yep.
He's so mad.
Yeah.
Was that real, or was he messing with us?
Nah, he came out and told the story that something happened where he was bamboozled, basically. I forget, because it was used a lot. And I would assume he gets buried in a lot of oh, you're the guy who can't throw the football at all.
Yeah.
But that's kind of fucked up that he was, why was he casted? Isn't that something you should think about?
I mean, there's another hitch route from that show as well, and let me just tell you what.
I didn't follow up past the gift. That's an actual show.
Yeah, there's more from that show that is absolutely
Wait, is that a football show?
What's the show?
I thought it was that show All American. It's a football show.
Is that what it's called?
No, that's not it.
Oh, it's not it? Okay. Well,
I have no idea.
I know football is
That's
not
it.
accurate there either.
The guy said he was trying not to hit the camera, which was right in front of him.
Oh,
Regardless.
we're not making fun of the camera, pal. We're talking about how the ball's getting out of your hand.
Yeah, fucking rip that thing up the sideline, up the seam. You kidding me?
Right
What does
over
it
the
matter?
camera's head.
Yeah.
But I've never
Or
been
just throw it. Just throw it, and don't act like you're having a seizure during that drop back.
But also, not everybody can throw the ball. Okay,
I know, but if you're being cast to play a quarterback, which I assume that's what he was for that role, don't you think a prerequisite should be he can throw a ball?
I'm not a fucking casting director, but yes, I would think that's what you would look for. So, but you're blaming him for signing up for the gig as opposed.
No. I'm blaming the people for signing him up.
Okay. Me and you are both on the same side that they said this is just like when somebody gets on TV to do a job that they're terrible at, and we all bury said person, but we're like, somebody let them. This poor guy.
Can we play it?
I mean, I don't
he
know
looks
if we
pretty
can. I
good
don't think we
there,
can.
but
What show is that from?
I mean,
That's the best he looks right there.
By the way, not bad. Ball behind ear.
yeah, that's a really good.
Elbow high.
Quick release.
I mean, that thing looks good. And then it all just goes to shit. No, whoa. You
Whoa,
better
whoa,
watch
whoa,
it. You better
whoa,
watch that. We just lost our business. Is it worth it, AJ? Was it worth it, AJ?
They're going to pull us down for that?
Yeah.
On
You have
Freeform,
no
isn't that
clue.
USA, which you're a part of?
I am not a part of USA. pal. I am not a part of USA.
Aren't they a part of the Cock, though?
Well, I guess I'm kind of a part of the Cock because I'm, once a month pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That's right.
Definitely part
That
of the
are
Cock.
way too. I mean, we are part of 10, 15 hours of programming for Peacock once a month, I guess, with those pay-per-views.
But I believe Freeform is part of the ABC family. So
we have no relationships there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, AJ.
Wrong program.
Let's talk. Wrong program. Thank you. Wrong organization, wrong program. Let's talk about last night. You had it right. You picked the Washington football team, and although they had more poop water spilling from their stadium this time in the suites as opposed to the lawn area of the bleacher area, they get a win over the Seattle Seahawks. And Russell Wilson, on his birthday in the nation's capital, did not look great. He talked about afterwards how they're, currently at sea right now, and they're fighting some big chop. They're getting a lot of chop right now. They're going moon. They're going starboard, and they're in the middle of some chop. Like the Wolf of Wall Street was when he was trying to get to Switzerland from the Caribbean. I don't know how that whole thing even worked either. Have they ever explained how he made it that far?
No.
That is so far to think about. But Russell Wilson and the Seahawks stink. And this comes after an offseason of turmoil in which his agent actually confirmed cities he'd be cool with going, although he never asked for a release. His team came out and said, this offensive line stinks. The offense is this. He wants to be a top 5 player. He doesn't think he'll be remembered as a top 5 player. Now they stink. Worst they've ever been with Russell Wilson. What does the future look like for them? And what do you think about the Washington football team currently in the playoffs if the NFL was to go into the postseason right now?
Hey, credit to Ron Rivera and what they're able to do, and Heineke as well. Washington they're not a bad football team. Like they can put it together and play pretty well. I feel like, don't you?
I think so. Heineke's the second coming of Fitzmagic. Might be better, might be more athletic as years continue to evolve. As will the Fitzmagics of the world. Tyler Heineke's a player. Old Dominion, obviously, he's good. Defense makes some big plays that makes Russell Wilson not look good. The stats, the possession, the yardages, the first downs, the time of possession.
Time of possession, crazy, right? 42 to 18 or something crazy.
They murdered the Seattle Seahawks. And Pete Carroll, he has come out and said he hates it, doesn't like what's going on. We're going to turn it around. Russell Wilson's in the middle of the sea still. I don't know what it looks like going ahead for the Seattle Seahawks, who had an offer of 2 first-rounders and something else this offseason from the Bears for Russell Wilson. This is crazy. And the Seahawks fans are going to get mad at us for even talking about this. But it does feel like we're looking at a new Seahawks next year. Man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think – does anyone feel confident that both Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll will be in Seattle next year?
No. The Seahawks are going to attack us, dude. They attack us whenever we talk about this because they say the only time we talk about them is when it's bad news. And I'm like, well, kind of accurate because you guys are so far left. I have no idea what's over there. I mean, you guys are way over there, so far away. And if they're not at the top, it's tough to talk. And we apologize for that, but that's a real thing that happens. I've heard your city is beautiful, but it is a lot of drama, man, especially when you stink. This is what we're talking about with the Steelers. When you stink, the drama comes in bunches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the little things, they're not a problem until they become a problem. And they become a problem when you start losing. Then all of those little things that you feel like coaches nitpick on every day, you're like, oh, okay, that now I understand why I need to, our line should look good in warm-ups and why all these little things, they do kind of add up, and great teams do the little things. But who's making the decisions there? Paul Allen, the owner, he had died, right? So I think his sister is running the team as the acting owner. Does she make the call? Can she – I know John Schneider's their GM. Can he make the call for Pete? How's that work?
Yeah, who's in charge of who?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is Pete Carroll the one that hired Schneider?
I believe Schneider came in after because they –
So is this a Gruden-Mayock situation where you don't know? And would the Allen family member that's in charge, which, once again, terrible host, don't know who it is, but Microsoft family, right?
Yeah.
They are a Microsoft family. They had great pool parties. Real good pool parties.
So Bill Gates may have a lot of pull in this decision.
Well, Bill Gates has a lot of pull in a lot of decisions from what I've been told. But when you create Microsoft, I mean, what are you going to do? But the Microsoft Allen family, a lot of money. They have the Seahawks, whoever. They would probably have to do it all. And who's going to give the okay to trade Russell Wilson? Is that Schneider or is that the ownership? Because when you trade away your franchise, that's more of a franchise decision than a team decision, right? I don't know. That is big. And he's going to be
wanted.
2
first-round offers, though?
Yeah. There's going to be – hey, think about the Panthers.
Yeah.
Think about the Panthers, what they're willing to do. They just paid Cam Newton $10 million. They paid $65 million in 3 quarterbacks and have moved them. Think about what they would try to do to get Russell Wilson in there. They know they got to go as the quarterback goes. What about the Saints? The Sean Payton, they showed his face right on TV immediately upon talking about Russell Wilson and his agent saying he could go anywhere else. The Bears obviously have Fields. The
Giants.
Broncos, maybe. The Giants are a massive city. I mean, they're Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami, even
Detroit.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't think he's going
Potentially.
First
he's
overall
going-
pick for Russ. Get
Probably-
it done right now.
Probably going to Cleveland.
go.
Let's
before
look at those
Detroit.
top 10 picks, by the way, because if the season was to end right now, there's a couple teams that if they did not fuck up the draft picks, which we have no faith that they wouldn't, but if they did not fuck up their draft picks, could completely turn around a couple pillars on their team. If the NFL was to end right now, and this is via Ari Mirov, the NFL draft order would be Lions at 1, Texans at 2, Jaguars at 3. Shout out to 2 AFC South squads getting in the top 3. Jets via the Seahawks, who would be at 4 overall. Then the Jets' actual pick at 5 overall. Giants, the second one via the Bears for the quarterback Justin Fields trade. Eagles, and then Eagles again from the Dolphins, and then the Panthers. So 2 picks for the Jets, 2 picks for the Giants, 2 picks for the Eagles, all within the top 10 of the NFL draft where we're sitting right now. But nobody has faith that any of those organizations aren't going to fuck it up, right? I mean,
no
everybody
way.
knows that they're probably going to fuck it up because these names are always in this discussion, whether it's after week 12 or after the regular season actually ends, it seems like in recent history.
And if you have 2 first-round picks, you would imagine there's going to be some teams trying to trade up and get in there. So some of those, what the Giants have 2, the Eagles have 2, and the Jets all have 2 picks in the top 10.
And if we go back to the Russell Wilson conversation, you look at the Eagles, if they're not 100% sold on Jalen Hurts, they have 2 picks in the top 10 that they could potentially trade away for a Russell Wilson.
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
And Aaron Rodgers?
I don't think so.
Feels like
I'm just saying there's a lot of draft capital there, but I think some teams maybe have enough self-awareness to know we ain't going to get it right. Like,
No.
You know what I mean? So we can maybe make some moves here and do some things. But it would be very interesting to see how this all ends up. But for now, looks like a couple franchises could make big-time moves if they really wanted to.
Well, with the Seahawks, like Pete Carroll's 7 years old. You look around the division, Kyler, the Rams, the Niners are getting hot. Like, there's no way he wants to do a rebuild. If Russ doesn't want to stay, Pete Carroll's probably going to leave anyways, right?
Where's
I
Pete
think
Carroll
Pete's going
going?
either way, don't you?
He's going to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Maybe.
Why not?
Is Pete Carroll going to Notre Dame?
Oklahoma.
Herbs.
Now
They're talking
on the-
Herbs to Notre Dame.
Herbs is going right to the Notre Dame Chop House in 2 years from now, for sure. I mean, he said in 2008, you would know more than us. 2008, the Ohio guy said his dream job would be Notre Dame. That hasn't changed. Now, that's a long time ago, and we have no idea if this is an accurate quote because it gets quoted so much that people have actually stopped giving the credit to where it was actually quoted from. It's just like, no, he loves Notre Dame, he loves Notre Dame, he loves Notre Dame. I thought the Ohio guy would love Ohio State, and if you're in Jacksonville and life is terrible for you in the NFL and you're Urban Meyer and your dream job allegedly from 2008 all of a sudden becomes open because Brian Kelly flies down to Baton Rouge and gets $95 million overnight while his team's still potentially in the college football playoffs and takes the job. Awesome. 7 a.m. meeting, everybody. Your life sucks because I made a decision. Everybody figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's a business, I guess. What if Urban Meyer did go to Notre Dame? Wouldn't that be crazy? USC, everybody thought not enough, even though they're allegedly paying old buddy $110 fucking million, buying both of his houses, private jet access 24/7.
The unlimited private jet for his family 24/7. I'd be like, really? Like you tell me unlimited? Because my kids may take a ride to school. Honestly.
In LA, you might need it too, depending upon the traffic.
Pat, you know better than anybody. You could run that bill up to $10 million in 1 year.
You could absolutely could, but let's remember that the USC boosters, they'll pay whatever to get their dumb kids into USC, let alone the amount that they have to pay to get their team back into relevancy. There was nobody in that stadium for USC, UCLA. USC job was so big, everybody was talking about who's going to go to USC, who's going to go to USC, and me, as somebody that doesn't follow college football close enough, go, who gives a fuck who goes to USC? Who cares who goes to? I guess the boosters are, not happy that I potentially think that. A lot of people think that. The Pac-12's kind of been dead since they've kind of been out of this whole thing. So those boosters trying to take advantage of it all. I love it. I respect it. I appreciate it. But I'm sure the Oklahoma oil people that have a lot of cake are about to make some runs at some people as well.
Yeah, they are. And Notre Dame will be interesting. I know Marcus Freeman, they're talking about promoting him to become the next head coach. Marcus is younger than me. I played against him in high school. He's been the D coordinator this season. We'll see. Also, they're saying Luke Fickell possibly too. So you're telling me Luke and Marcus are both up for that Notre Dame job?
Freeman was the DC under Fickell before he went to.
In Cincinnati.
He played for Luke. Marcus played for Luke at Ohio State.
I think we met him whenever we did our trip to the Cincinnati training camp. He was really cool. I think full dap up. From him, right?
Marcus is the man. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. I would assume through you, he felt as if we knew each other. I think I got full dap up. Then I saw the defense was crushing it. Then I saw he got hired by Notre Dame. And then now the reports, incredibly happy for him, by the way. Way to go. Yeah. Way to go, dude. Do whatever you got to do. Now the reports are that Brian Kelly's going to make him the highest paid defense coordinator at LSU if he goes down there. I didn't know that they were also thinking about him potentially being head coach. Good on him if he goes and gets it. Congrats to Notre Dame if they do that. But Luke Fickell, if he is to go to Notre Dame, wouldn't he say, hey, just stay where you're at. We'll make you the highest paid fucking defense coordinator. Notre Dame Catholic's got a lot of money too, right? I mean, isn't that something that could happen?
Oh yeah, I would imagine if Luke wants that Notre Dame job and they're coming after him, which I would imagine they would want Luke pretty bad.
Have you sent him a text to see if he's going to go there or not, or what not?
No, but I mean, Luke is a diehard Catholic guy. Went to Catholic high school, 6 kids, the whole situation.
Oh my God, he's a perfect guy.
Bring him in.
But also, just a quick thing. Him and Cincinnati are in talks to build another $50 million indoor practice thing.
Yeah, but
Desmond Ritter's graduating. I guess he's done, right?
Yeah.
National TV every week.
You get the opportunity.
I believe
Notre Dame.
you guys were talking about Notre Dame's first game next year.
Against Ohio State.
Oh, my God.
Kind of writes itself.
Luke Fickell's going to Notre Dame, huh?
Holy
Congrats,
shit.
dude. Sorry, Cincinnati. Hey, Cincinnati,
Good
it was
run.
awesome. You didn't deserve any of the shit that happened.
Good luck.
Can they offer him $100 million though, like the other coaches?
Who, Notre Dame or Cincinnati?
Notre Dame, will Notre Dame do that? I know they have plenty of rich boosters, but is that something that they would do?
Oh, you're talking their arrogance. You're getting to coach at Notre Dame, you're saying.
I would guess they would offer Urban $100 million.
Urban fucking Meyer right now?
Yeah. I mean, granted, we know it's a Catholic institution, but they don't really give a shit about moral character or anything. I mean, they hired Brian Kelly, he killed a kid, so they can look past, Urban's past transgressions. They can get over those. And, hey, come on home, Urbs.
Now, by the way, I mean...
Urban didn't kill anybody that we know about.
No. That we know about, but...
They probably have a little... exactly. They probably have a restaurant leased out already that he can build a new chop house.
And he would want to get out of Jacksonville, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, he said today, hey, I'm not leaving the NFL for a college job.
Zito, what'd you say? You were about to say something?
No, nothing for me.
Zito had a look where he was about to come in.
Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, jeez Louise.
What is that about?
Herbs didn't pull the trigger.
Well,
That we know of.
with him.
they're saying he did bring a loaded gun into town, though. Let's go to...
Some of these NFL coaches might have to look at these college gigs and they see they're getting 9-year deals guaranteed for $100 million.
Yeah, but you got to work all year round. Like maybe Pete Carroll does go back to college, but he's 70-something years, and maybe he doesn't. I guess Ike Taylor told us that if Tomlin was to go to USC, and I think Ike Taylor said $100 million would be tough to say no. And I didn't know if he had talked to Mike Tomlin or not, although we know he and Mike Tomlin are tight and still get along, just like Tomlin is with Ryan Clark and all the alumni who he is speaking up for, who have been speaking out against the current Pittsburgh Steelers team, which is very interesting. Ike Taylor said there has to be a check out there that can maybe go. $100 million offers being made to people or in teams that no expectation of winning as long as Saban's still coaching, right? As long as Saban's still going, as long as Ohio State's still going, you're just trying to get in the conversation so your school can at least be talked about in relevancy. It is interesting. I mean, James Franklin, he got 90-some million, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He stinks.
100 with incentives. I mean, they're going to go, 6-5 this year?
They stink.
And Oklahoma's going to the SEC. Like, I assume they're not thinking, hey, when you switch conferences, you got to be at the top.
How come Deion Sanders? Deion Sanders maybe Oklahoma?
Ooh.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Well,
would his
if he holds out a little bit longer, Florida State's going to shit can Norvell. And
Does he want to go to Florida State, though? Isn't Florida State like...
They're bankrupt.
They said no the first time.
Yeah, they got no money.
Yeah, they did, but... I mean, going
Oklahoma's
back
got all
home.
that oil money. Imagine
Oklahoma going to the SEC had to be a big reason. Lincoln Riley's like, hey, I'll go play in the Pac-12 with USC and recruit all this in-state talent.
Oh, yeah.
Man, hey, listen, my offense crushes against bad schools' defenses.
Yeah.
Hey, wait till you see what we're about to do to the Pac-12. Then we're going to get in the playoffs. Guess what? motorboated. But
Yeah,
we'll still be able to talk about being in the play. Hey, we'll get a chance to travel to the playoff every single year. That was what we do.
And I think he's already flipped like 6 of his top recruits too. Like they just decommitted from Oklahoma. They're going to SC now. So
Rattler's transferring out. You think Rattler will try to go out there?
I don't think so. No. Maybe he'll try, and Lincoln will be like, we did this in Norman. I don't know if we need to do this again.
What are you doing here? You kind of stunk.
I remember we put you a freshman in. I think he's probably going to hit the transfer portal. Yeah. Caleb Williams is going to hit the transfer portal. Hey, remember everything we were talking about here in Oklahoma that was awesome, like the fans and everything. Now just pick it up and kind of go to LA, and we got boosters giving you guys. Wait till you see these fucking apartments.
Snoop Dogg's going to be at practice.
Yeah, do you guys like looking at the ocean and stuff like that? Like, we got views over these cliffs over there. Now you're going to have to work. Hey, we're still going to have to work,
of course.
But we can just pick this up and just go ahead and drop it in Los Angeles. That's basically what these fuckers are telling me.
I heard Lincoln was running scared once he saw Billy Napier heading down to Gainesville.
Hey, congrats to Billy Napier.
Billy.
Hey, we had Mullen on and Napier on. Mullen out, right? Down to Florida. He did not have that great of a run. But once again, nobody's going to have that great of a run if Nick Saban is still in town. I don't know how.
Still can't lose like 4 or 5 games, though.
Why don't you get into college football coaching, dude?
Yes.
Told you, I'm not very good at it, and I don't have much passion for it.
I could not imagine giving a fuck what a 17-year-old decides to do. You know what I mean? I thought about that, like going in, hey, we need you on it. We don't. Like, it is hard for me to go and want to sell a kid who doesn't know shit about fuck, doesn't know anything about anything. Thinking they do, obviously, because they're incredible. I couldn't even imagine, like, if I was one of these top recruits, what I would have been like. I would have been a fucking asshole. I would have been impossible to deal with. But these coaches have to act like they care. I don't. I come or don't. All right, see you later. And they probably wouldn't come, by the way. And that is why I don't think I'd ever be able to do college football coaching.
Well, you would do that for probably like the first year, and then you're like, man, why am I only getting like these 1- and 2-star dudes? And I'm like the biggest school there is. And then you win like 2 games your first year, and then next thing you know, you're dancing in living rooms.
No, I ain't no dancing monkey for
this. You want to keep your job.
Is Rich Rod dancing in living rooms?
Well, to be honest, the way they recruited me, they just walked into the lunchroom and said, hey, you don't want to go to Kent State, really, right? No. All right, you want to come down to West Virginia? It's an hour and a half away from here. You have partied there before with a lot of your friends that have gone there. It's a great time, and we're in the Big East. This is Big East football. You want to come down? Yeah, I do. All right.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'll call Kent State now. They're not going to be happy. And they weren't. But then I went over to a high school basketball game and cheered on the Plum High School Mustangs. Got over it real quick.
Those
Like, all right,
thanks.
that's a shame. But you're right. I wasn't highly recruited. I assume you, though. Did they come? What were they doing? Holding up AJ Hawk signs and hats and stuff like
Feeding
that
the piranhas?
over there at Centerville?
No, they were not. They didn't have to recruit me hard. You know, Ohio State, they probably had a sense, too, from speaking to me once or twice, like, hey, if we offer this kid, he's going to run to campus. So we don't have to work at all.
This kid is literally the picture of Ohio. Wait till you see him. His jawline is like the most Ohio thing you've ever seen. His neck, they have to give him XXL pads because of how big his neck is. His torso nowhere near the size of what his neck requires in the pad department. This dude is going to be he runs fucking 4.4. This dude.
He killed Kirk Herbstreit.
He has 8 pet piranhas.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy. He is.
I don't know if that was on my scout report.
He is the Ohio guy.
He talks to the fish.
We tell him, hey, preferred walk on. He's running. This is. We don't even listen. We got Joe Paterno doing dances in his goddamn living room. Hey, come to Penn State. We'll take care of your kids. The Joe Pa's saying, and they're doing all the dance. And AJ, get the fuck out of town. All right.
I saw an AJ Hawk mural in a restaurant in San
this weekend. Yeah, I saw somebody posted a picture of a mural of you in high school, you in college. I think that photo right there was actually painted on a wall in Centerville. Unbelievable.
Freshman year, right there, like 150 pounds.
With the biggest neck in town.
Yeah. No, biggest shoulder pads in town.
You got a sandwich named after you back here?
No, not that I know of.
Well, it'd be the Hawk Burger. Hawk Burger.
Yeah.
This one might give you wings.
There's some meatloafs named after me.
Oh,
really?
Meatloaf.
Hawk loaf?
No, he loves meatloaf. I forgot about that.
Yuck.
A lot of ketchup.
Meatloaf stinks.
No, it doesn't. I know we got into this whole thing the other day. It does not stink. You cannot like mashed potatoes and not like meatloaf.
I don't know. I saw a
They're
lot
the
of
same
mashed
thing.
potato love on Thursday.
You can do whatever you want. You're allowed to like whatever you want, man.
Oh, thank you.
Shut up, AJ.
Meatloaf play.
You
Meatloaf's
don't
good.
have to like something because, it goes with mashed potatoes. No.
No, I agree. And I'll mix a lot of different genres of food with each other.
Is this a big rock and roll show? I saw a clip.
Oh, man.
What
You wanna
happened?
find out?
What in the world what was going
I did
on?
not know we had that beat on deck. To be honest, I did
Banger.
not know that is what was coming. You know what I mean? I did not.
Was that out of break?
Yeah, fresh out of a break. Somebody.
That's awesome.
Sports and rock. Yeah.
Banger.
It's actually pretty good. I got going, then I stopped, and I tried to get back in because I wanted to play an instrument in the band. And we didn't get going as well as I thought we were going to. But we did think about what you say often, like if somebody had just tuned in and that was their first dose of it, oh man,
boy.
we're never going to get them back.
Nope.
Somebody's going to tell them one time that we're a good show, and I tried them one time. It was a rock concert was going on. It's unbelievable. What are we talking to Aaron Rodgers about today? Is toe, bye week? What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so they said he's not getting surgery, right?
Correct. And by the way, he said that kind of last Tuesday that he was not going to get surgery because surgery would require some off time. He said that's one thing that's not an option, even though
He's already played on it 3 weeks, though, right? Or 2 weeks?
Yeah, now he's getting a bye week. And they talked about shooting him up, I guess. And there was the internet became alive, whenever he allowed a shot for that. And I think
it's not. I'm sure it's lidocaine. It's not Toradol. I'm sure it's lidocaine.
Well,
right there.
lidocaine. I'm excited to hear his answer to that shot as opposed to another shot that potentially got talked about a little bit about him because Joe Buck did say that Aaron's toe had been immunized.
Yes.
So Joe Buck.
Aaron and Joe they're boys though, like they're tight.
Well, Joe did not miss the moment. Joe did.
Omicron.
I don't know what you're saying. Are they?
No,
tight?
I mean they're boys. I'm saying I don't think Aaron's mad at him for that.
No, he shouldn't be. By the way, it was a great joke.
Yeah.
That was a great. Like, I think Aaron would respect the joke. It was properly timed, I thought. Yeah. But with that being said, it also generated and garnered a lot of, what was that all about? What was that all about?
Joe and Joy are not afraid to take shots at people.
Bro,
they're the best.
They're the best. Yeah. They're the most podcast-like coverage of a game.
Yep.
They're the most casual coverage of a game, and I enjoy it. I enjoy Joe and Troy a lot. I guess that's big NFC, right? They're big NFC?
Yes.
Yeah, always. They do a ton of Packer games. They have for a while now.
I don't think I got to meet them much when I was playing. I don't think they did a lot of AFC games.
Yeah,
that's normally that's now. Romo
you'd have Tony games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Romo would have been a walkthrough.
It used to be Nance and Sims.
That would have been awesome.
They get the game of the week.
I used to see them when we'd walk off Saturday. The walkthrough. You'd have the little crew would be there watching the walkthrough or whatever, and I got nothing to do during that. I mean, I jog on the field, I guess, and I jog off and sit there for an hour and a half. My work's already done. The hay is in the barn.
Sure.
So then I would just stare and judge the TV people and see what they were doing, what they were watching. There were some crews that had real diligent notes and real conversations. Then there was other crews that just had no idea why they were there, I think. That's an interesting thing. I think I would want more information going in, right? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Like Joe and Troy would always come watch practice on Friday, and they would watch, and they'd have like the roster and their little notes they're taking. And Troy was talking. He would always, because he's Troy Aikman, he's a Hall of Famer, he can kind of do what he wants. And he could go and talk to coaches he knows and kind of say hi to players, why it's going on. And he would always watch. We'd always do like a little 2-minute thing on Friday. I think he would always want to watch that, see what it looked like offensively, defensively. Like, yeah, those good crews come in, they actually get some real info.
See, I think that's required to calling NFL games.
It should. I mean, that's why they always say, like, when we talked to Aaron Rodgers yesterday, he said the toe's feeling great. Like, they always come back to like their meetings together.
Yeah, but it's a time-consuming thing, I think, and it is.
Think about it. Those guys get there on Friday afternoon for a Sunday game. That's what I'm like. Oh, what are you guys going to do the rest of your time?
And if they're not flying private, they're maybe layover.
They are usually not. The majority of them are not.
So they're layover at least Sunday into Monday. You're back on Monday. That is for 18 weeks or whatever. That's what I think I learned that one year when I did those college football games on Thursday. I'm like, man, this is a lot of time to do a very little amount of actual work. And also, all this research that is being done, 4% of it gets used. What are we doing here? Now, granted, it's much different than the NFL, what I was calling, because I didn't know anybody's names. I had no idea anybody's names. I couldn't even guess what they were potentially playing for. But I try to give my best effort. I try to give my best effort. But the time is amazing. I think we should give a little bit more props to the crews for that.
Well, and then Adam Amin was one of those guys who was
unbelievable.
Ultra prepared, made sure that you could kind of just go in there and do your own thing and didn't have to worry about it. And I assume with the NFL, it's probably
easier, right? Is it easier in the NFL? You know the teams.
Know the guys, yeah.
I think just because there's less teams, there's less players, there's less turnover, and you could call NFL games right now. Like if anyone's a decent fan of the NFL, you could watch a game up in the booth. You may not be good, but you would know a lot of the players. If you do a random college game, you're not going to know a whole lot of guys.
Man, I said, old buddy 18 just made a hell of a play. Just like, and that's like TV 101. Like, please use the names around. And they have these sheets that they make, and there's this person.
Your boards, yeah. It's got like the 2 and 3 deep.
Still emailing me, this guy. Get me out of here. I didn't sign up for the email. I don't want to be in the email. Hasselbeck signed me up for the email. And
the guy that builds your board? That would want to build your board?
He didn't build my board. Zito built my board.
Yeah.
Me and Zito build my board every single week because other people's boards, it makes sense, but that is one particular way. I needed something to be set up a little bit different with the way my brain operates. And then inevitably, we're not using a board anymore. I don't even, but I still get the email every week from this guy who builds the boards. I guess his boards are the greatest boards of all time, but they're holding it. Got all the names. Adam Amin. The amount of research in his brain and the amount of, it was unbelievable to watch. And I never, ever gave enough credit, I think, to anybody. But Joe and Troy crush it.
Yeah.
Joe and Troy crush it. Last night, your thoughts on no Manning cast? You know, we watched the Monday Night Football broadcast.
Yeah.
I thought it went pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Solid game, solid crew. It does feel like we're missing something, not having the option to switch over to the Manning cast, though.
So next Monday, you know, it's a huge game. Right? It's
massive.
Bills Pats.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Monday Night Football, Manning cast. Okay? I don't know what to do. I don't know because if I record the Manning cast, I'll still get the stories and the intel and the enjoyment. But it's hard for me to pay attention to the game as much whenever the Manning cast is happening because I'm getting distracted by some story or some whatever or reaction, right?
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. I've learned a lot. But the Bills Pats, massive game.
Yeah.
Maybe only like 2 guests for that one, and we actually watch the game and break down the game.
Yeah, we'll see, but it appears as if 4 guests, 1 guest a quarter is kind of just in the playbook and tried and true and what they're going to do every
Peyton
week.
Peyton will adapt and adjust. Omaha.
I hope so, because maybe he audibles into no guests and they just kind of watch
Bills
the
Pats
game
game
themselves.
would be awesome to see.
They should try one like that. Okay, we're going to try something here, guys. We're going to try just me and Eli.
And this will be a good game to do it because I assume Peyton knows a lot of the Mac Jones offense and why he's making decisions that he's making. And I think Josh Allen is another one that they know a lot about, right? He came on the Manning passing. He was in the Manning Passing Academy and the Manning thing. This will be a good one, but that's a big time Monday Night Football game. Last night's game was just, I was told this morning, craziest game in the history of football.
Really?
No, it wasn't.
Wait, excuse me?
Who the hell said that?
I think Greeny was fucking with everybody.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a little how it ended the first half was a little wild.
Not just the first half, but also the onside kick. Then the lineup being
the kicker popping his hammy and that whole. Then you're like, okay, now they got to go for 2.
Joey Sly was never going to catch that guy, but on film, he wanted it to be known that he was getting
fast.
his best.
He was moving. He was rolling.
He's got massive legs, very explosive, athlete of a guy. Yeah. Only running because he wanted to film the show that he was running.
He's trying.
And then he blew out his fucking hammy in the middle. And then a lot of people were talking about, how can the punter not kick? We've gone over this. If you listen and watch the show, it's a baseball bat versus golf. Some people just haven't done both. Some people can't do both. Some punters have only punted. Some punters have grown up in a country where literally punting is how you throw the ball back and forth to each other. So kicking a ball off the ground is a much different motion. Although I was lucky enough to be able to do both, and there are others that can easily do both, not easily at an elite level, but can transition. There's a lot of guys that can't. And that gets displayed, I think, like 3-4 times a year. Last night, Joey Sly getting a sniper on the hammy is another one of them.
And it was early too. It was to the point where like that was a close game, and it was like, oh shit, they're not gonna have. They don't even have the option to kick a field goal. Like they're gonna have to go for every 4th down if they do score again. You know, like a field goal in that game.
Ty, when did the commentators talk about that? When did they? Because right when that happened, I'm like, okay. I think my 8-year-old was like, so who's gonna kick now, Dad? And it's like they don't. There's no way they have a backup kicker. I said, I don't know if someone else is serviceable to kick extra points, but they're going to have to go for 2. Like, when did they bring that up on the broadcast?
I don't think it was until they came back from half.
Okay.
They didn't mention it in the end of the first half, I don't think, and then started to talk about it in the third quarter.
So certainly something to talk about immediately upon it happening, but I assume you don't broach the subject until you're almost getting fucked over by the situation that had happened in the sniper hamstring. But it's not always just the punter. I've seen guys that weren't kickers or punters that can actually kick a ball.
Chad Johnson. Didn't Chad make one for
and Dominican Sue? Chad Johnson bombs balls. I mean, there is some guys that can just pick it up.
OBJ could do it too.
OBJ. I saw OBJ at the Pro Bowl, literally right in front of me, spin a ball and blast like a 48-yarder. I'm like, I don't think I could make that. I don't know how the hell that happened. Now, could he do it from a standstill in 1.25 seconds while everything's moving? That's a whole different game. I assume Odell Beckham Jr. could do it. Chad proved he could do it. I think Ndamukong Suh proved he could do it. But it's not always just the punter that could do it. It's quite a weapon if you're a guy who can actually kick a ball. It's like wide receivers that can throw the shit out of a ball. Like, oh, this is a massive weapon here. There's some incredible athletes there. But have you ever popped your hammy like that before, Sniper? I never have.
I've been lucky not to do a hammy like that. The only thing I popped is my calf like that.
Ooh.
Did you go down?
No, you can see it on film. I was in my little stance. Ball snapped. I went to push off, and I turned. I looked behind me. I thought someone kicked me.
That's what they always say.
Unfortunately.
That's what they always say about Achilles and a calf, right? If it sounds like and feels like somebody kicked you in the back of the leg.
O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard said pop. There's a sound. It felt like he got kicked because he was mic'd up, right? Yeah. I've never got the sniper on the hammy.
It's not great.
It looks scary. It looks painful.
I can't touch my toes, too, so I don't know how that hasn't happened.
That's probably good.
Well,
some guys definitely overstretch, I think.
Well, see, I had a couple friends that got into yoga, and then the next year they blew out muscles. And just a couple. This is my experience, okay? I'm not saying this is how it
Everybody's different. You're right. Everybody's different. You're right. But yeah, 100%. Like, one thing, just because this works for this person doesn't mean it's going to work for that person.
Bingo. And there's been yoga that has saved people's careers. I know Mike Pops Adams played in the secondary for like 18
years. Yeah, the Bikram guy saved a lot of people, right?
Well, the hot yoga was definitely something that I think in theory was great until it was abused into a sex cult, which is what you were just referring to.
What?
Come on. Yeah, you said the Bikram guy was turned his concept.
I've done warm yoga, and it was not a sex cult.
No, it was hot yoga you did. Warm yoga is just a door close. Hot yoga is when they're pumping actual heat in there. It's like 100 degrees and you're dying. Have you ever actually done that?
I've done that, but not the Bikram. I've done the Bikram style way back in the day. I've done now, like the yoga I've done that's still hot and fast paced, but it's not Bikram.
Well, I think it all kind of stems from the Bikram tree, right? But
this one does not. But yeah, you can keep going.
Well, the Bikram name, they've tried to get rid of that because he did turn it into a sex cult where he was calling people up to his hot yoga room and then forcefully fucking them.
Yeah.
Bingo.
He's a bad guy.
Bad guy.
Terrible person.
Very bad guy.
But he was incredibly powerful, I guess, over in India, and then he brought his yoga into America, and then it became a big deal, and he abused that power, and it's something that can't happen. I did one hot yoga. I almost puked and quit halfway through. It was too hot. Sweating too much, couldn't touch my toes.
Just trying to survive, right? Like I remember I did Bikram back in college. I'm like, I'm just going to lay here and try not to leave the room.
Yep.
I did leave. Did you not?
I didn't leave the room, but no, I would do one thing and I'd have to lay on my back and die for 15 minutes.
I didn't know anybody in there or anything. I decided.
You gotta bring frozen water too.
If that was my team, if that was anybody I knew, I would have stuck it out. I would have been like, all right, I'll die in here with you. I didn't know anybody in there. I owed nobody nothing, and it felt like they were judging me because I couldn't touch my toes. I'm fucking out of here. Please don't open the door. Obviously, it's like opening an oven. Please don't. I'm gonna die. You want me to die? Open the door. Shut the door. I don't think they got back to the proper temperature for a good 3 to 4 minutes. So I was a bad guy. They did worry about me on the outside because I was still laid out. I was laid out on the outside. As the class ended, they came out, asked about me, but I was not a fan favorite in there. What do you want me to do? I almost fucking died, dude. What do you want me to do?
You're a warrior, man. I'm glad you didn't die.
Well, nobody told me to drink
and then
triple the amount of water.
Yeah, if you don't drink a gallon of water.
I don't like the structure. Like they do the same poses and they tell you when you can drink water. I was like, wait.
And they told me when I could breathe too. Like, get the fuck over it, dude. I don't want to breathe heavy right now. All right, I'm trying to breathe quick and slow because I'm trying not to die. You need to take a deep breath. I can't. The air's too thick. It's 150 degrees.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah, and I'm hungover. Obviously, what are we even doing? And I'm just sweating, and I do your power pose. I'm like, I don't know. Is this advanced? Can we get to the fucking?
I have no power.
I'm getting out of here. You can't. Oh, I'm trapped. Now I'm a hostage. This place stinks.
What'd you wear? Did you wear a Speedo?
No, I had sweet tights on. Tights with shorts on over top with a tank top. I made sure the fit looked good. I knew what I was. I was signed up for this from somebody else who's a great athlete, and he was in there with me. But he made it out, and I did not. And as we were driving in there, he was explaining to me what I signed up for. I thought this was just going to be a little feel-good stretch. You know what I mean? Like, how you doing? Keep it moving. Let's do this. And then it wasn't until we were in the car where it was like, you're going into a torture chamber. I'm like, fucking hey, what is this all about? And he was a professional athlete, so this is a high level. Like, this is a high-level one. And they welcomed me in there early, but that turned. It was... I was holding people up. There were some motherfuckers dressed like assholes in there, though.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, my God. Old dudes.
They're almost like guys almost naked in there, aren't they?
Yeah, there was a dude doing a full power warrior thing with his... he was wearing, like, those cross-country shorts.
Like Travolta in that dancing movie?
Hairspray?
No,
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever.
Hey, Grease is a banger, huh?
You've seen the Travolta. He fucking moves.
What's Travolta doing in that
He
movie?
like moves his hips.
The cowboy movie?
Nah, you'll see it.
Urban Cowboy?
How about Michael? That's a good Travolta movie.
Classic.
Michael?
How about Phenomenal?
Didn't
No.
Dave
Another
fly on
classic.
some of Travolta's
Yeah.
planes with him?
Hey,
Gotti.
Travolta's been there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Gotti did not get the reviews that I think he expected.
Banger. Gotti might be his best work
Gotti's
today.
legit.
Hey, the Gotti story is one. If I didn't know it already through and through and I didn't learn anything new from that movie, I think that's why I necessarily didn't like it. But that was like 6 years in the making, too. That,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Took him a long time.
that was his swan song.
Yeah, it's his passion project. Yeah.
I thought he
Now he's Santa Claus.
Really?
Wait, what?
John Travolta's Santa Claus, now Capital One.
I haven't seen that yet.
Me neither.
Oh, spoiler.
Really?
He's a good Santa.
Nice.
Good. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Hey, is mall Santa still a thing? You would know. You got kids. Is this happening? Are people still taking
Oh,
photos with
Saw one
old
last-
men?
Saw one last week.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
That
That's
needs
awesome.
to die.
What?
That needs to die.
What are you talking
No, it's the holidays.
No, have your uncle or your dad dress up as Santa and do it that way. Stop
Oh,
going
isn't
to
that
malls.
nice? Isn't that just so nice?
Stop going to malls and sitting on random people.
No, I think this is something that should continue.
I saw one actually this morning that was very messed up.
Oh, it was a bad looking Santa.
No, it wasn't like that. He made a very disrespectful comment about a kid who was asking him for presents. And
this
I'm
a
not
movie?
even gonna say it. No,
Is this on the
real.
internet?
Yeah, this is on the internet.
So you didn't see it in real life. You saw it on the internet, but it did happen.
But it did happen, yes. Between a Santa Claus, a kid, and the kid's mother.
He wasn't Holly Jolly?
He wasn't Holly Jolly. He was actually a piece of shit, terrible person.
Like Bikram?
Not like Bikram, but because Bikram, that guy's climbing the ladder when it comes to pieces of shit.
Well,
this
he
guy's
was-
definitely on the
Trajectory.
yes.
They paid $15 to sit with that asshole, too.
Yeah, he definitely got fired after this as well.
Oh, did he? Did they know? Because some of the
100%.
Santas,
No,
kind of disguise.
Yeah, no, he definitely got canned.
I haven't seen the video you're speaking of, but I'm happy that Santa.
Hopefully they do background checks on those guys.
They
No
don't.
way,
Those
dude.
guys are getting paid in SIGs and 40s. I mean,
SIGs
they
is
don't
cool.
care,
Are you willing to do this job? Yes. Perfect. You're
Sounds
sitting
good.
here for 9 hours.
Good luck.
They have to, though.
Most
They
of them
have
do it
to
to
You would
plan.
hope, I guess, because there's so many. You're literally inviting children to this thing, and
To sit on his lap.
yeah, but there's a Santa community, I think, out there that is really
Mick
high.
Foley, yeah.
But I hope they don't. You would assume some scumbags slip through the cracks like the one that you saw right there.
Most of them do it just to plan like a heist or something while they're working.
Which, by the way, if it works, go ahead and do what you got to do.
Santa. You know what that is?
Yeah,
That's
Wait,
it.
was
Also,
it Potter
Paul
Bad
Blart.
Santa?
I think Paul
Paul
Blart.
Blart, yeah.
I think Paul Blart had to deal with Santa Claus. Home Alone had a, and then Elf. Elf had
Yep.
one as well.
You're not Santa.
4 Christmases.
We should make a Christmas
Movie?
Hell yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, Foxy.
They're always great.
Yeah, Foxy.
I love Christmas. I agree.
All of them are good, because everybody kind of takes a shot at that because it'll play every single year.
Yeah, if it hits.
If it hits, it hits. If not, though, it'll be forgotten about like the other 10 million holiday movies that are created. And I think, Freeform runs them all, right?
Oh, yeah.
It is Freeform season.
It is freeform season.
As soon as December hits, which is what? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to watch The Grinch and Santa Claus.
I think it used to be ABC Family, but Freeform stole it. Like the Grinch.
Yeah, true.
Oh, The Grinch Stole Christmas. I wish I had that. That's our best.
The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the 25% off sale is ending tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern.
Wow.
Okay.
PM.
Okay.
12:30 p.m. Eastern, 25% off. The Grinch, I'm going to fuck this up with the WFL. That's my favorite one.
That's a good one.
Dirty drew that thing. Mm-hmm. So Dirty drew a lot of our shirts. It took things went to a, you know what I mean?
I mean, next level.
There it
Boom.
is.
That's what I was talking about.
Leveling up.
That's what I was looking for. Let's get to a break. We have not taken a break yet?
No, we haven't.
It's 44 minutes in.
Yeah, we have.
You
took
have
Shut
we?
up, AJ.
No, we haven't. Shut
No,
your
we
mouth.
took one last hour. It was a rock one.
Yeah.
AJ.
Hey, Joe, what are you trying to ruin the show for, dude? What's that all about? It's holiday season. Fucking stop it.
Trying to help the show.
What do you want
Is
to
that a new cutoff? That's sweet with the white.
It's a customizable jersey, actually.
Put whatever you want on it.
Put whatever you want on it. Well,
Flip around. You got your name on it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Boom.
You don't have to buy it with my name on it, though. You
Yeah.
buy it with your name.
Mine
With
says
your
Hawk.
number. Join the team. Put the jersey on. I think that actually ended yesterday. Yeah, I can't buy them, actually.
Yeah. Won't get them by Christmas.
Yeah, you won't get them by Christmas if you buy your customized jersey.
Right.
And I would have worn this earlier if we also, didn't get it till lately. But I mean, it's fucking supply chain. It's crazy right now.
Yeah.
And everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else. The boats are
Mayor
pointing fingers
Pete's
at
got
the
it.
docks. The docks are pointing fingers at the warehouse. The warehouse are pointing fingers at the logistics. And it's all one big clusterfucking circle. And just know that you can still buy these customizable jersey with your last name on the back and join the team, join the squad. And if we ever play a pickup game, we'll fucking run people off a court.
Hell yeah.
But you ain't getting it for Christmas.
No, sorry.
This is a 2022 gift.
That's right.
We're back in 4 minutes with a great show. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. We'll take some phone calls, actually. That's what we'll do on the other side. Then we have Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Then we're wrapping this beautiful thing up. We can't wait to see you then. Cheers.
So I'm going to give my weekly story when Pat comes on.
Yes. Here we go. So this is my bedtime story right now.
There's a couple refs that you just have it out for, or they have it out for you. And I'm like, before the game, I get the paper, I look, I see who the referees are. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get a penalty called against me for sure in this game. And so I'll just say it. It's Bill McCreary. Where
Wild Bill.
We
Wild
fucking
Bill.
hate that guy, dude.
No, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. And I run into him actually in Pittsburgh all the time. So I'm playing in New Jersey, and Bill, there's like a whatever. The other team trips one of our guys, like a blatant call that's missed. I stand up on the bench. What you do just to be an asshole. I stand up on the bench, take my stick over the board, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, you can hear it through the arena, right? Just boom, boom, boom. Like, come on! It shows them up, right? Come on! And all of a sudden, I see Bill just look across. He goes, boom, and he's got like this heavy mustache, like this. His mustache, he's just eyeballing me across the way. And he looks at me. I'm standing up. I'm banging my stick. I'm like, fuck you, or whatever. So then the play goes on, and I'm tying my skates. I'm on the bench. I'm going like this. I bend down. I'm tying my skates. So like the top of the boards is right here. My head's down. TV timeout. All of a sudden, I hear shh. Someone stops right here, and I look up, and Bill McCreary's like eyeball to eyeball with me, and he goes, are you showing me up? You want to fucking go? You want to go? And he goes like this. I swear to God, he goes like this. He backs away from me. Let me grab my mic. He backs away from me from the bench, and he goes like this. Come on. And I stand up, and I go, Bill, are you challenging me to a fucking fight? I'm like, you asshole, you think I can't? If I fight you, I'll never play a game in this league again. He goes, let's go. Come on, let's go, tough guy. And I'm like, my mind is going like in circles. I'm like, do I fight this guy? Like, I'm not, what am I supposed to do? He totally won. He knew I couldn't do anything. And I'm just like, I just got to him. I was like, you know what? I'm like, fuck you. And I sat down, and then it was like, I was like, he totally just dominated me right there. And then the next game we played, I was taking the opening face off of the game. He's dropping the puck. He's standing there before the puck drop. I look at him, he looks at me. I look at him, he looks at me. And then finally I go, hey, Bill. I go, Billy, let's bury the hatchet, man. I'm sorry. I got away from myself last game. I got away from myself last game. Like, this isn't, I don't treat referees like that. And he goes, no, I did too. I let the heat of the moment get the best of me. All right, man. Truce. All right, cool. Truce. Drops the puck by the end of the first period. We're fuck you.
This seems to be a thing with you.
I run into him all the time. He's a great dude, but that's how it is, man. He's got to fight his fights out there too to save face.
Oh, Rob,
should I have fought him? Maybe not. Probably not.
I mean, pretty good content. You fight a ref, but also like probably banned forever. I assume.
Yeah, probably.
And
oh, here we go. All right.
Put that capo on.
Something?
No, I was going to let you lead the way, and then we were going to sing our song that we practiced.
What do you guys sing?
It's our song, Aaron. Go ahead.
Our song?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was just about to get into it. It's Tuesday. They say is that Aaron Rodgers is rather great. The son of a bitch lied. Oh. I thought that's where we're still writing it. I thought we were gonna. You guys just got a chance to kind of dive into a writer's room with me and Aaron.
Today's show is presented by Arby's.
Oh.
Listen, everybody should know this by now, but the latest and greatest addition to the Arby's menu is the Arby's boneless wings. Just had them for lunch. They're unbelievable. We've been enjoying the 6 pieces of all-white meat chicken in crispy, seasoned breading, tossed in either the classic buffalo or hot honey sauce.
Okay.
Not just today, but all season long.
They're so good.
So good.
So
Unbelievable.
fucking
I mean, it's no BS. These things taste as good as any wing you're going to find anywhere else.
Perfect sauce ratio.
Yeah, bingo. It's served with their new crinkle cut French fries, which, I mean, I'd hate to say they might even be better than the curly fries.
And you might think that he's fucking around. He's not. These ones might be better than the roundies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might have been.
You know, you get a little bit of the cheese sauce. You will have to pay about 60 cents for that, but dunking the crinkle cuts in the cheese sauce, there's nothing better. You can get all that for just $5. That's right, $5.
That's it?
I actually did it this morning. You get that shit delivered too. You know what I mean?
You bet.
Yeah, it's so good. Dude.
It's unbelievable, and for just $5, get out and try yours today. Is that Tony Hawk?
No, but it is a board that you fucking hear the beat build and then you drop it.
Holy shit! Yes!
Just know that if that was a pipe, I would have hit it.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Good way forward. Welcome back to the show. Shout out to Arby's, dude. Those boneless wings are unbelievable. And Arby's has admitted to us privately, and we should probably disclose this, they understand that it is just chicken nuggets with incredible sauce on it, but everybody else calls them boneless wings, so they are forced to call them boneless
Yeah,
wings.
what are you going to do?
No false advertising.
But they are the best boneless wings that I've ever had.
Adapt or die.
They are so good.
Yeah.
Don't they sell chicken nuggets as well, though?
Nope.
Chicken strips.
Strips, tenders.
Way
that's
different.
right, okay.
Don't be an asshole.
I mean, chicken, for sure. And it's breaded,
Yeah.
but much different.
No buffalo.
Much smaller, different sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
shape.
It's a dipper. Those are dippers, I think. These boneless wings come in a sauce.
Yeah, tossed in it.
Oh, so good. And they don't cheat you on the sauce.
No, they don't. And then you pop it open, and you're like, holy shit, this is all white meat chicken.
Oh, my God. This is tender?
Yeah.
What? Delicious?
What?
These crinkle fries.
What?
Oh, the cheese sauce, $5.60. Let's go ahead and go to the phones. Let's go to Joe in Texas on the 5 Hour Energy phone line. What's going on, Joe, down there in Texas? Oh, no.
What the hell's going on with these
happened
phones?
yesterday.
Is it us?
Tell that kid to dye his
What's
hair
been
back.
going on in here?
Yeah.
Dye his hair back and it'll fix it.
Who, Mitt?
Yeah.
We've been getting power surges, too, all day.
We have.
It feels like that might be the problem here.
Wow, a power surge killed Joe in Texas.
Good luck, Joe.
See you, Joe.
Good luck, Joe.
Good luck.
Well, everything else worked but the phones.
Let's go to Sean in Brazil, Indiana. What's going on, Sean?
Because they're hardwired.
Sure looks like our phones might be
Yeah,
down
they're
there.
fried. That is absolutely what happened.
Man, it's a rest in peace, everybody on the phone, man. Hope you're okay.
That's why you don't talk on the phone during a lightning storm.
That's right. That's why you unplug the phone in a lightning storm.
Bingo.
I wonder if they got Omicron in the phones.
Oh,
I
no.
hope not.
Stop.
I
Hey,
hope not.
Omicron's gone.
Jeez.
Think about the freezing cold takes that could come if Omicron, it lives up to the billing that it's currently getting.
It probably will.
Omicron is Tyson Fury meets Mike Tyson with the confidence of Conor McGregor and Muhammad Ali.
Nice.
That is what I've heard about Omicron. Omicron is a bad motherfucker that ain't playing no games with any of the 19, Delta, Pi Kappa Psi nonsense. Omicron's the big brother that got transformed into coming doing devastating stuff.
Do we know? Is that what Big Mike tested
McCarthy
positive
did.
for?
He's been on his Zoom calls doing interviews, and Jerry Jones said, hey, listen, we're going to get the ball to Zeke Elliott, and we know every single week that Big Mike, even if he's on a Zoom because he's got Omicron potentially, and we hope he's okay, T's and P's, hope he survives. He does break down the entire game plan to Jerry Jones. Jerry is now taking that public. A lot of Zeke on Thursday night because Zeke is all the way back, and Zeke is a stud, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, he is. I agree. You should give the ball to Zeke. You should throw the ball to Zeke and also let him block, too. He's a really good pass blocker at times, so why not ride him?
Zeke is a game changer whenever he's healthy, and that's what Jerry Jones knows. He paid. Hey, I paid that guy a lot of fucking money, $30 million. He was in Cabo. Do you fucking remember this, Big Mike? You might have been in your basement coaching in your basement as a fired football coach or whatever with alongside Pelissero and all them. But I fucking paid this guy. He was in Cabo. He wasn't even at training camp. I paid him. Let's get him the goddamn ball. He's a good player. He can block, he can catch, he can run. He's got great personality. Goddamn, he fucking eats a bowl of cereal after he makes the entire run. Mike, you should love this guy. Give him the goddamn ball. I think that's what Jerry's saying a little bit publicly. But going into the Saints game, there's a couple stats that Tone Diggs, the man who's going to be leading the Super Boost, has brought up. Saints defense, not great against the pass. Saints defense, pretty good against the run. Yeah. What will happen on Thursday night? What will the Super Boost be? We shall find out maybe in hour 3 after we get done with ART, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. On the other side of this 6-minute break, I'm going to do a Hawley, AJ, to get him prepared for this conversation. Are you pumped or what?
Can't wait. Let's see that Hawley.
See you in 6, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Boom! Fucking did it, dude. Both the trucks got off the thing. Woo! 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 See you in 6 minutes, dude.
With the 17-game season, I talked to Pat earlier. I've seen some people try to say players may be pacing themselves or whatever. They can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Do you ever feel that with anybody? Is like your day-to-day change or anyone's mindset change with the 17-game season? And also, what are the chances that you're going to be playing in Green Bay next year?
Hey, that's good journalism.
It's a twofer.
Thank you for that too. For that, I find it hard to imagine anybody's pacing themselves. We're talking about one more game. We've played 16 games for so many years in a row now. One extra game, you're talking about, a 6.25% increase in playing. Like, I don't think anybody's actually really pacing themselves with the extra game now.
Did you just do that? Wow. Did you just do that math in your head right there? Or do you have the? Are you one of those guys like, let me carry the one?
42 sounds.
Yeah, they have this cover 2 defense right now. I've seen this 40. Is that you? Is that real?
That's real, yeah.
All right.
So,
7 times 2.
I do have some good mental math tricks I can do another time.
Another show. Another show.
Another show. Age, no comment.
Oh, shit! Hey, they're gonna have to bleep me out of a lot.
That's a good thing.
My reaction out.
I just wanted to no comment your age. That's fun for me. Now you're a media personality, a big media guy.
Isn't that the first thing they tell you though when they sit you down your rookie year? Don't say no comment. That's what they told us.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that conversation.
But you are a rebel though, so you can say it.
A maverick. I have a surprise, obviously. That's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. Do you want to have fun?
That's nice.
You want to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Whoa. Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this. I
I did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me. Can
You
I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you
unbelievable
didn't.
talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking have
Yes, I
it.
did.
You're a bad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God. Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass from a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think his microphone's still on. Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, you know, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, you know, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on you. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them. Nice. But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. When did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't even know how the beers...
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show here on November 30th, 2021. This Aaron Rodgers Tuesday shall commence now.
Yeah!
AJ Hawk sitting to my left on television, actually in an attic in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Which is being talked about as planes flying in there multiple times in a court situation happening live right now. Shout out Uncle Wexy. The Tone Diggs is here. The Toxic Table is here. All the boys in the back. And there is a crowd that is building in anticipation for a conversation that we're lucky enough to have every single Tuesday. This started last season. We would chit chat. It was the COVID year. There was no crowd, but this man would go on to win the MVP, and we got a chance to ride alongside him every step of the way. Back for season 2 has been nothing short of spectacular, including a book club being made and leading a team to the number 1 overall rankings in basically everybody's NFL power rankings after 12 weeks of NFL football. Ladies and gentlemen, the man with 9 toes, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah!
Whoa. Is that a 12-year-old? Whoa, holy shit.
I have 10 toes.
Wow, 9.5, I guess.
Yes.
Prove it.
You want a toe?
Hold on, you cut out right there. You said something great because you look awesome right now. I'm sure you're excited for the debut of the clean shave. You look 7 to 10 years younger. You look fantastic, pal, even though your toes all busted up.
Look, I got a birthday coming up, and I'd rather look closer to my age than about 10 years older than I look. I mean, just look at AJ, right?
I mean, just look at AJ. AJ with that home plate face looks like he could run his head into anything. Let's dive in to your state of mind here going into a bye week. Perfect timing for the bye week, right? Especially with this toe. The team gets some more pieces back. They're talking Takatari in December. Jair, everybody could be coming. This is a perfect time for the Green Bay Packers to feel better. Where are you at mentally, physically, and how will you spend the bye week?
I thought we were the last bye week, and then I realized that there's 4 other teams that have to play another game, which is unbelievable. I mean, it's tough enough to play 12 and then have a bye, and you have 4 other teams playing 13 and then a bye. And that may need to get looked at some point because that's a long stretch of football to play without any type of break. But yeah, I think we've been dealing with as many injuries as we've had over the years, for sure. A lot of important players, starters on IR, some no chance to return, some with a chance. Takatari obviously has an opportunity. Not sure when that will be. Jair, hoping him. Zadarius, who knows? Josh Myers up in the air. So there's a lot of those, and then you have the weekly injuries that we've had with Kevin King being hurt, and Aaron Jones dealing with his injury. And, he played a little bit last week, so it definitely comes at a good time. The bye, always say that the bye always comes at a good time, but for us to be 9-3 sitting here, not many people probably expected that. Looking at our schedule. And definitely with what we've dealt with this year, with Devontae being out for COVID, and Marquez missed so much time, and all the injuries up front on the defense side of the ball, to be 9-3 feels pretty good.
So how's the toe feel though? Like as the game went, did it feel like you thought it would? You looked early like you were bouncing around. We obviously know you want me to get to your touchdown run and everything. I don't know if that was – it didn't look like a designed read. It looked like you were pulling that, and that was – you were becoming a solo soldier, as one of your old coaches used to say, and it worked out. So credit to you. But later it looked like you may be limping a little bit. Did whatever they juiced you up with wear off a little bit?
It would definitely wear it off a little bit. I also got stepped on at one point, which
I'd be foot stomping you all day if I was playing against you.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like that we do know what's hurt and how it's hurt. I guess the other team could do that, right? I mean, that's a target.
I don't know. You and Brady Papinga are pretty good at clotheslining people, but I don't remember a lot of foot stomps you did besides, your other antics on the field, flipping people off and the back kids the way you did. But overall, as compared this Monday to the last Monday, I definitely felt better, and same with this Tuesday to last Tuesday. So, I'll just keep getting treatment. We're hoping to avoid surgery, obviously, but the surgery would be such a minor one. It wouldn't be something that I'd have to miss time with. That's a prereq for any surgery that I have at this point. I'm not going to miss any time. So, we'll kind of reassess early next week and make a decision. But it's not something where I could have surgery, on a Monday or Tuesday and play on Sunday.
Oh, so we still might get surgery, it sounds like, because it was a report you were going to get surgery. Then the report was like, no, he's not going to get surgery. There is still a chance you're going to get surgery on the toe.
Yeah, look, again, with these reports, I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know who's talking. It seems like there's certain coaches that may have friends in the media that they don't realize are actually just trying to report things on. But,
guys on the Green Bay staff, you're saying?
Oh yeah, Age, you've known about that. There were guys for a while who had their people they would leak stuff to.
Oh, can't have it, Aaron. Can't have it. Can't have it. But you think that's potentially what's happening? Somebody maybe got word that there was a potential surgery, and then somebody else was like, well, he's not having it right now, and that's why it's potentially getting reported. And the fact that you might still get it on like Monday and still be able to play is, I assume the follow-up would be, why not do it now? Is there something that can happen between now and Monday to find out if you can't do surgery, like a healing process that's already naturally happening?
Well, look, when the surgery would immobilize the toe. And so then there's that would be an issue the entire season I would deal with. Now, it would avoid any further displacement, but it would immobilize the toe. So we're hoping that with a couple weeks here, we can get enough healing that maybe we can avoid doing that. Now we'll reassess, like I said, probably later this week and early next week, but. But the ultimate goal to not have to do surgery, this thing heals up a little bit better, and you kind of make it through a few more weeks, and maybe doesn't bother you late, the last few weeks of the season.
It doesn't seem like it was bothering you much during the game. Now, granted, there was the moments where you came up a little bit lame and the gait was a little bit, as if you were limping, but everybody's seen it, and I'll get to it since AJ didn't want to. I mean, that was fucking beautiful. I mean, the RPO on an island with Jalen Ramsey, one of the best athletes in the NFL, one of the best football players in the NFL. Give him a fake, because he has no idea what's happening. The classic on the run, pump fake, get him in the air. You see pay dirt, make a play. He gets whipped by his own momentum, and then a photo is generated that is iconic and will be used for a long, long time, and I would assume should go up in your house somewhere. Let's talk about that, how you're feeling about the athleticism with a birthday coming up on Thursday, and also against Jalen in specific. You were 7 for 7 against him. Do you know that when they're going into a game, and is that something you think about?
No, I mean, he's a great player. It's not like you have to be wary about certain routes that you throw on his side, because he'll bait you into throwing certain things and sit on routes from time to time. And there is a little bit of a guessing game, but it also depends on the guy who's over there on his side. We had a good plan with trying to get the ball out quickly. And, we're going up against two very probable Hall of Famers and a stud and two other studs, Floyd and Ashawn in their 4-man front there. We didn't want to hold on to the ball a whole lot, so we had to do some quick game and some chipping on the edges to get those guys comfortable. And felt like the ball was coming up pretty good on time, and we didn't have any sacks really. We had a phantom kind of 0 yard, when I got tripped up there. So the line I thought played really well, and that was the plan. But on that play, on the touchdown run, that was not the design play, not at all. The play was either hand the ball off or throw it to the left side to Tay in the flat. And the pre-snap was there was 4 over 3 on the left side after the motion. Yes. And so I kind of was off of that already. And as the snap was coming, all I saw was Aaron Donald kind of looking like he was splitting the double team. And for whatever reason, I just pulled it, and the whole right side line collapsed. And just thought, okay, well, now I got to run this one in. And as I moved out, obviously it was me and a far superior athlete on the edge. But in moments like that, you have to use whatever skill set you got. For me, it's kind of my brain and the old pump fake. There was nobody over there. Not that he would have known that. I mean, there could have been a tight end kind of sneaking back out or the back or whatever. But the pump fake was just enough to hold him back there. And the spike wasn't as good as I want it to be. We have kind of a rule on spikes. The ball has to exit the screen. On the film, the ball exited the field and made somebody in the front row pretty happy with a nice souvenir there. So I feel like that kind of made up for the fact that it wasn't one of those great spikes where the ball kind of goes straight up in the air.
How do you grip it? Like this? Is this how you're spike? Because you're trying to land that thing flat, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to land that thing flat as possible, right?
I was trying to have my hand kind of on the meat of the ball, but I just must have missed it because it kind of bounced off to the right.
Terrible spike. Pretty athletic play, though. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, were you expecting Jalen Ramsey to travel and to cover Devontae, or do they not normally do that? He looked like he was frustrated at times when they're playing zone. All of a sudden, Devontae motions to the other side.
Yeah, he did. He's been playing a lot of nickel, actually, for them. Probably because he's such a great player, and you can maybe at times lose him in games if he's playing outside and the team's just going to ignore that side of the field. So he started playing inside more, and he's a really good blitzer, and he can cover, in inside or outside. But with Devontae, he was doing some traveling, but he wouldn't sometimes travel on motion from one side to the other. And then on the big throw that we hit Devontae on, the 43-yarder on third down, we motioned to tight end outside from backside 2 to frontside 1.
Of course.
And initially, Jalen was lined up on Devontae. Then he bumped out to guard Josiah, and that's when I kind of stepped up in the pocket and hit him down the sidelines. He's a great player, and
that's why you motion a tight end out to 1, though, right? So then you wasted your best corner on a tight end.
And 1 means furthest outside, right?
Yeah, outside in. Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
So you saw that and you instantly like, okay, Devontae knows, I know, like this is what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, again, and that was a little bit of an ad lib on his part. I came back and said, "How come you ran that route?" And he said, "I just felt good about the matchup." So if you watch it back, and that's the beauty in the game, because you wouldn't always necessarily know that unless I told you that little anecdote. And I love it too. And it actually kind of messed me up on the last offensive play of the game that we had, because we had a similar play call. And this time he decided to run a slant. And I said, "Why'd you do it on that one?" He goes, "I just felt like that was the best option." So I tell you, I trust him. So much, and him and I have such a great unspoken chemistry on the field, and we even did a couple other little things in the game that are really cool that we've been working on and practicing off of some of the things that we did. But
how long has he just been choosing his own routes in his head against somebody? Has that been something that obviously doesn't start immediately, but has that been happening for some time?
I mean, he has a lot of freedom, which he should, because he's got such a great release pattern, and he's such a smart guy. It's not like he's going outside maybe of schematic things, but he's making decisions that might not be the expected initial kind of paper football decision, like when you're looking at it on paper, which is why I always say there's like kind of a paper offense and an on-the-field offense. There's like paper routes for Devontae, and then like when he's on the field, do whatever you want. And he did it last week against Minnesota on the second touchdown. He kind of ad-libbed that route, and that's why I was a little bit late getting to it when Everson drilled me. But that's exactly what you want, because he totally froze the guy and scored a touchdown. Same thing on the big play on that third down the other night.
So it's impossible to watch film then, right? Because then you don't really know what's coming. And how do you have to deal with it? You just have to be patient too and see what he's doing, or do you normally have a pretty good sense beforehand? You're on the same page.
I would say normally I have a pretty good sense. You just got to read. You got to read body movements, and then also the conversations that we have are very high level when it comes to those situations. So even before the game, I remember walking over to him and saying, "Hey, on this motion, I'm going to give you this, and then it's going to be this, just for that play." And the guys that I've really gelled with over the years, they expect those conversations. They know that I'm going to walk over at some point, during my preparation for the game, as I'm doing my last looks at the at the plan or at the wristband, and say, "Hey, if this play comes in and this specific situation, and I give you this specific signal, number, look, I want you to run this specific route." And the guys that I've had the best rapport with, I think they probably love those, because they know it might show up, and if it probably shows up, it's probably going to be a good situation. And then the flip side of that is when you got a receiver who can tell you, "Hey, if I get this look or this matchup with this specific play call in this specific scenario, I'm going to do X." I'm like, man, I can't wait. I hope that happens.
Yeah, you just try to remember it, I guess. AJ Dillon, I'm sorry, AJ Hawk here. AJ Dillon and you's relationship seems to be blossoming like in a fantastic. He's becoming like a dude. And Aaron Jones, obviously a little bit injured. He's obviously always going to have a part in the offense. But AJ Dillon, he's posting about you on his Instagram.
Hell yeah.
You're finding him in the pass game. He's making some good catches, I think. He's running people over with that offensive line. It's nice to see that relationship build, I think.
Yeah, he's getting a nickname too. He's the mayor of Door County or something. He got the key to up and Door. You know where Door County is?
Dork County?
I do. Door County, D-O-O-R.
Oh my God,
Door County.
I thought so.
If you look at your hand, right? It's your left hand is Wisconsin, and the thumb is Door County. So as I'm looking at the camera here, so the thumb, I can't even flip it here. Here we go.
Nailed it.
Too late. But the thumb is Door County.
Use your toes. Show us with your toes.
Yeah, show us.
Let me get my toes out here again. That was awesome.
Why'd you feel the need to do that?
Did you see Billy Turner get his toes out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
solid.
AJ though, man, what a great kid. He's again, the off the field stuff is very settled. He's engaged. He's he worked really hard, I think, on the mental part this off season, and then the physical part has been just really fun to watch. Him running behind his pads and using his weight. You know, he had a run late in the game. You know, he had a nice cut in the hole, and then it's him at 24, and he didn't. It wasn't like he even had a huge lead up. He just you know, and I'm in the background going, yeah, you know, it was one of those awesome moments to watch. But the thing I love the most is his personality coming out in the games and him, you know, cracking jokes in the shotgun. You love it, you know, or him, you know, trying to mess with me from time to time. You know, out on the field, I enjoy that. It's fun seeing his personality come out. He's a really, really good-hearted guy, and he's done a great job for us. He really has. He really has played well for us and been very consistent in the passing game. You know, I was talking. We were watching the film yesterday, and you know, I mentioned to Maddie we were watching a play where had kind of a full field read, and I threw it out in the flat to him, and he's got like 6 yards of separation, 2nd and 7, and he makes the first guy miss. And then he just lowers his head and gets, you know, and splits 2 guys and gets 8 yards on his first down. And it's kind of a throwaway play if you're watching on TV. Oh, he just threw a flat route and a guy, you know, ran into some people. But those are the type of winning football plays that he's been making over and over. We got a 2nd and 1, you know, on a different drive, getting down towards the red zone. And, you know, he just, you know, puts his head down in there and gets 2 hard yards and moves the chains. These are the type of consistent winning football plays he's been making for us that have, you know, allowed us to be a little bit more explosive, especially the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's an absolute load. Like, you can tell he wears on people, and that was Taylor Rapp, the safety. I felt bad for him trying to come up and make that tackle. Like, good luck. That's a tough situation. But your cadence.
How are you supposed to tackle him? How are you supposed to tackle him?
You can't.
You know what I mean?
You got to hope he trips over your body, basically, when he's right there in the hole.
Those thighs and those knees just, I mean, because you go
on
high.
the sideline. Doesn't he scare you when you see him on the sideline? I'm like, all right, who is going to come and take this guy on? Because you might die.
He's a fridge. He's an actual fridge running out there. It's unbelievable. It's incredible to watch. And he's been getting more active in the entire offense. It's been kind of sweet. And by the way, Connor tackled him one time.
That's right.
Woo! Attaboy, Connor.
Big win.
Attaboy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a statement was made that day that
Message sending hit, Pat.
AJ said, I ain't never getting tackled again. And he has been tough to tackle ever since that day. I mean, he was 12, you were 20, but that's the way things are going to go. Go ahead, AJ.
That was a great hit out of bounds, probably late.
Late, 15-yarder. You're an adult. You can vote and smoke cigs. This guy literally still 13 years old. But yeah, you're right. It was a big-time hit. Hey, you did it.
He remembered it.
He's in the NFL now.
He said that.
Yeah.
He still remembers.
He definitely still haunts him. He wakes up at night, I'm sure. He can't get over that one. But, Aaron, your cadence is a weapon. We know that. We've spoke about it on the show before. You had an early 3rd down where your cadence got their guys a little bit back on their heels so they couldn't get off. Like, that's a huge thing people probably don't talk about a whole lot. They can't just pin their ears back and go because they're so scared of you getting them to drawing them off sides. Your cadence, is there any, like, if you said, all right, guys, this is on 3, what in the hell does that sound like?
Yeah, and they snapped
when
one.
the ball was snapped, like, I don't understand it. Is there anything you can tell us about it?
AJ, I'm sorry, I don't want to, because this is a great fucking question, journalist, because they snapped one and you gave a cadence after the ball was snapped, but everybody was moving at one point, and it was, I think that was the most fascinating. I think that's
how do young guys get that? How do young guys all of a sudden, like, okay, because normally, like, it just doesn't seem normal to me.
It's not. It's a rhythmic cadence that doesn't have a normal snap point. And I think that's the beauty in it. You know, you grow up or you're playing in the street or at the local field, and you know the snap count's always on like hut, right? It's like set, hut, false snap. You know, that's not the way we do it. You know, there's different snap points for us. We've obviously expanded all the different things that we can do. You know, it's color number in our system, and we can switch up the snap count on the first color and the second color and the third color and the fourth color and the sixth color. And then we can do it on the first hut, second hut, third hut, quick count. I was happy, you know, we had some cadences that I haven't done in a while. We had a late in the snap count quick cadence. We had a multiple on 3s in the game. We had an on 2. We had a first color, second color, third color, you know, first sound plays. And, you know, we're not drawing a ton of people off sides, maybe like we were for a time, whereas like you seem like every single game we had 1 or 2. But it's definitely a weapon because you can't just tee off on what we're doing up front. And, you know, we're going to keep using that as long as I'm here.
Green 19, right, is what you say? Because it sounded like DMT. I thought you said DMT one time just to troll. I was like, this dude put his foot up as his Twitter avatar, and he used DMT as a cadence. But it's Green 19. I actually rewound it. My wife and I were like, did he just fucking say DMT? He might have. Yeah, let's rewind this. We listened back. You did not.
Were you on some DMT when you were watching that, questioning? You and your wife both were like, wait a second.
Wait a minute. No, we weren't on the DMT. Okay, we weren't taking deep dives into our soul, but we were on vitamins T, H, and C right there. And we did think it was potentially happening. Let's talk. And I think AJ wanted to bring it up. You lifting your foot and showing people what it was, and then now you put it as your Twitter avatar. One of the greatest moves I've seen on the internet. One of the greatest moves I've seen. I was so pumped about it. I don't know if you saw my tweet about when I found it. Wasn't until hours after you did it that I found out that you did that, and I just seen it. I was like, oh, this guy is fucking awesome. But how did you get to that point? You were sick of the Wall Street Journal, I guess, wrote an article. I get tagged in everything that happens in your life. The Wall Street Journal wrote an article about it, and there was headlines talking about how you said it, and it was like the perfect example of what you've said a lot where, people don't really listen to the context or the conversation at all. They just get some words on paper and then they run with it. And you've talked about this for a long time with how you've been covered. You were clearly joking, clearly. It was, and you can't get to the point where you're a robot and you don't joke about anything. But with how big that thing ran, did you just get fed up and that's why you decided to give all the foot fetish people dream come true there right on that Zoom call? Or how did you get to that point, you think?
Yeah, I think Rex Ryan probably enjoyed it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Still one of the best.
Rex, you're a good guy, Rex.
Still one of the funniest press conferences was when Wes Welker did it. He said foot or feet, like 15 times. Oh, man. What a funny guy that guy is. But
a straight face the whole time.
Straight-faced, I know. That was amazing. Look, here's my issue with the whole thing, and I'll precursor it by saying this. Andrew, who wrote the article from the Wall Street Journal, reached out to the Packers with his number. They forwarded that to me, and I called him and had a very respectful conversation. Was interested to hear his reasoning. And had a good conversation. So I respect the fact that he got on the phone, and there was no official apology from the Wall Street Journal or really much of a recanting of the story. There's an adjustment of the title to the article, but my thing was this: you and I and Age and the boys have a great rapport. You have a lot of laughs on this show. I think it's pretty obvious if you're watching the show live, which so many people do, or watching it back on YouTube, or all the different clips that the boys put up on social media. Pretty obvious when I'm joking and when I'm serious. And I clearly stated, and it was posted on there, that it is worse than turf toe, so it's obviously a bone issue.
Yes.
Now, you made a joke about COVID toe, and then I repeated that, and that's all the Wall Street Journal wanted to say. Hey, you said COVID toe. I'm like, well, me and 98% of the population, maybe more, until this article, had no idea what COVID toe was. An actual thing, okay? Yeah. So with apologies to anyone who's been afflicted with COVID toe, I had no idea that was even something that could happen, right?
Me neither, by the way. Me neither. I had no idea what it was, but I learned. It was trending. It was trending.
Yeah. So again, the other thing is 2 other points. One, I'm pretty sure that whether they watch it live or watch it back or watch the clips, there are numerous members of the media, both our local beat writers, because I think some of them live tweet or live social media this show from time to time, and national media members who watch the show. Not one of those people who have seen me and covered my career for a long time, not one of those people wrote an article that I had this condition called COVID toe, right? Not one person who didn't cover me forever. And if they had a question about it, what they would have done probably was call the Packers and talk to either Tom Fanning or Jason Wallers, Sarah Quick, Nate Lacasios, somebody, and just said, hey, off the record, does Rodgers have COVID toe? And I'm probably pretty sure that they would have said, I don't know what you're talking about. What is COVID toe? So you have 0 beat writers, 0 national media writing an article. You have the Wall Street Journal being opportunistic because of my non-vaccinated status, and I've been in the news and trying to write this article. That's my opinion. The second part is I called out an individual who didn't write the article, but that's the text that I saw from all the people in the morning, and that's how I actually even saw the article. This person proceeded to, take a couple, pretty good shots at me about, my own mental status and intelligence and personal decisions. Definitely not without blame. And then went on to delete the tweets later and, write a very, self-affirming message about, her workout status and donating to her, her charity, which sounds like it's a phenomenal charity, but you are not blameless either. You tried to be opportunistic as well and jump on this train and slam me as well. So, look, you didn't write the article, but you decided to quote yourself in a tweet as well.
Who? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Have you said the name yet publicly? Is it out?
No. Yeah, I said her name. But again, let me just wrap this up. They wrote an article that was totally false, based on 2 words that I said back to back that you said as well, even though I said, also was a bone issue. And, I was talking with Tom before press conference. He said, "You got an answer?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna pull my toe out." He said, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." So Lily, you can hear me as I walk in. I'm like, I don't know if there's gonna be enough room to get my foot out. Here as I'm sitting down in the, in the Zoom room, and Rob Demoski asked me the first question, and we just kind of went down the line from there. When it comes to memes, though, you either embrace them or they never go away, and most of them probably don't ever go away anyway. So that's why. The first one that happened, I've been memed like crazy this year. Hey, you just got to embrace them. I got my chin strap up here.
Oh, yeah.
That's the background of my Twitter now. And, the Twitter doesn't allow you enough space there for the other picture, but, I got my toes in there for the other picture.
Yeah, you did. You made it work. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
AJ, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think happens now if Tom Fanning or Jason, before your next meeting with the media, they say, hey, there's a report out there, someone just slandered you and said you have hemorrhoids? They may be worried about what might happen in that next meeting.
Are you going to address it the same fashion? I think is what AJ's asking. Is that what you're asking, AJ?
Do you want me to float it out there so you could do that?
Jesus. He's the worst. You're the absolute worst. He's a journalist, though. Hey, journalist of the year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, journalist of the year.
I saw a lot of people asking about that.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody, but I guess that's what you can do nowadays. A source said, if you saw it somewhere on Twitter, which could be your own burner saying it, saw it on the internet and then say something, is always something that can happen, which is the world we're in, and you are the target of a lot of this conversation because you are the current MVP and your team is number 1 in the NFL right now, dude.
Hell yeah!
Hey, you guys are number 1, bro. Number 1, man. Could you imagine when you were jumping off those waterfalls and all the things that were being said in the offseason, you guys would be number 1 in the NFL after 12 weeks? Could you imagine that, Aaron?
I could, but that's without going through the 12 weeks that we've had. I mean, it hasn't been a quiet 12 weeks. So I'm very happy with where we're at. Very happy to, have gotten off to the start that we got off to, and happy that we've faced some adversity and we're moving through it, or close to the other side of some of it.
I don't know. Omicron, dude.
Oh,
Omicron, bro. All right, anyways, go ahead, Ty.
Aaron, you told us last week about when, the long sleeves come out, when the turtleneck comes out. You guys were somehow underdogs, but anyone in the know knew. I mean, you had it on pregame. It was like, all right, ball game. We're going to win. But I said on Monday, it felt like watching it that it was like a playoff game. Do you ever get that mentality going to these? I mean, obviously you know how good you guys are, so every game is kind of whatever. But does it ever you get that heightened sense oh, okay, this is kind of like a playoff atmosphere, and you get a little more juice?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially November, December football at Lambeau. There's just, I mean, you feel it. It's a playoff atmosphere. These are the games that define the season, and it was an important one for us. Haven't been home underdogs in a while. It seems like. So, that was obviously something that some of us knew about, but yeah, playing a really good football team, coming off a bye, coming off a couple losses. We were going to get their best shot. We're coming off an L with the division tightening up, a lot of playoff implications on the line. I will say this, and I'm not just saying this because I like you, Ty, but I got to my locker. I got to the stadium early to get some treatment and do kind of the same routine every time. Put my jersey on my pads, put my leg pads in, and I looked at kind of Tim Odie puts a stack of kind of the clothes for the day in my locker, and it was like my tights and a long sleeve and a little half sleeve hat thing I wear to try and keep my hair back, and then the turtleneck was in there.
Hell yeah.
And I said, Ty's gonna like this.
Let's go.
That's awesome. Did you see his tweet as soon as there was a photo of you wearing that thing? He literally tweeted out.
Ball game.
He's in the fucking turtleneck.
Yeah.
It is ball game. It's real, though. It is something that, and you've addressed it. The cold weather gives you like a little twinkle in your eye. It doesn't affect you at all, it seems like. Now, obviously, I don't think you were perfect, but it did affect Stafford out of there. Do you think that's just because the defense is growing so much there in Green Bay, or what do you think it potentially was? And why do you know, and I guess that was a perfect depiction, like, home field advantage in the playoffs is massive with Lambeau. Is that potentially what got LA as well, you think?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I think that they had some turnovers on offense that got us going. And then we put together some pretty solid drives, but they still scored a lot of points. Matt has never had a problem with Cole. I mean, I remember in 2011 when the other Matt was playing for us, Matt Flynn, started and played in week 17. And he threw for 480 and 6 touchdowns, our Matt Flynn. People forget that Matt Stafford set the record that day for Lambeau Field. He threw for like over 500 yards. And I think he had 5 touchdowns. And we won like 45-41. It was a wild game. But so I don't think Matt was necessarily affected by the cold at all. I mean, he still had, I think 3 touchdown passes. But the cold is definitely an equalizer. I think it equalizes the playing surface. You see way more guys slipping on Lambeau Field in November, December, January. You see the ball sometimes a little harder to throw. The wind is a factor. Kickoffs. It feels like maybe the kicking ball might get a little slippery, a little more slippery.
Hey, that ball was coming out. That ball was coming out a lot.
Yeah, right. So. It is a great equalizer. It's been good for us over the years. Obviously, it didn't work out last year in the NFC Championship, but hopefully we'd love another opportunity at that.
And I know that you're on your bye week. You got things you got to do. Do you have to get tested every day? No, because you had COVID already, right?
I still am on like maybe 69, 70 days.
Hey, congrats. Yeah.
There we go.
Between 68 and 70, I think.
Somewhere. Like your throw distance, yeah. Well, enjoy the hell out of your bye week, man. We got you something.
You got me something, but I'm not going to get it.
Well, I mean, we'll enjoy it for you because you probably can't eat it because you don't eat milk or whatever. You got a birthday coming up, right?
I do. 38 big ones. Is there 38 candles on there?
Well, there's only going to be 2 that's lit because there's a lot of fucking candles. There's no way I'm lighting all those things. But happy birthday, dude. We definitely knew your birthday was coming up before you said it. And didn't order this cake during this conversation and got it here because we are a great group of people and friends of yours. We appreciate you so much, man. We'll ship you this cake. Would you like to give us a speech of anything you've learned here in your last 38 trips around the sun, pal?
Oh man, it was a really interesting year for me. A lot of great growth. I think in general, I definitely learned over the last year who my people are and who my people aren't, and I'm thankful for all those people who are my people and have been so encouraging and supportive throughout the year. especially during the football season. And so thankful to have people, come out to the games and support me. And, it's always fun to have guests during the season. That's what you miss the most. I think during the COVID year was not seeing those regular people. Brian Bumgarner was one of them that came out to the game this week and sang. And his birthday was actually yesterday.
Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday! Couple candles for you too, pal.
But life is all about relationships and cultivating the ones that I think bring you that life and that positivity and that joy. And I'm just thankful for those people who continue to show up for me and encourage me and hold me accountable and breathe life and happiness and joy into my daily walk around this planet. I'm thankful for all you guys and for this weekly Tuesday thing we do, and thankful for another year around the sun.
Well, we're thankful for you, man. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aaron. Happy birthday to you.
Make a wish, dude. Make a wish, dude. Go ahead. Yeah, great work. That was incredible, man. Happy birthday,
Still
dude.
got it.
And I know, I assume the book club also go on a bye week here so we can catch up with the 17,000 pages you gave over the last 2 weeks of the book club, yeah?
Yes, and I actually, that's my main goal. I've been gifted. I do want to say thank you to all the people that sent books, sent books out to the stadium. There's been so many that I've gotten. No way I can even get to them with the stack that I've got. I also, a good friend of mine, Joey, just gave me a bunch of books to read. So I am going to get on a couple books this week and hopefully get to read them. And the book club will be back and better than ever next week.
Well, we appreciate you, man. I'm going to read all these books once again, I think. I'm going to read them again.
Hell yeah.
How about you, AJ? You think about going through all of them? You remember back when the Outliers was the weekly reading? That was such a fun.
Self-scout. We got to self-scout and reread them.
Yeah, and not just self-scout and reread them, but maybe, get excited for the big push ahead.
Yeah. That's right.
Into the playoff book club.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Those books are going to have to be awesome. Enjoy your bye week. Go ahead. You told me earlier this is going to be the day you're going to sing our song, so I appreciate it, and that's how we'll send this whole thing off. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah!
Oh, come on. Didn't get a goddamn strum.
What was
He
that?
didn't even flirt with it.
Probably hurt his fingers.
Oh, yeah, you
Can't
got a
play.
pinky problem already. Need not to
True.
do that to the old finger tipskis.
Rest up, yeah.
That was fun, man. That was a good combo.
It was.
Hey, good journalism, I think, out of us. We asked some real questions.
Oh, yeah.
Had to do it.
Even the hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids was a real question. I saw one person put that out there.
Yeah, I saw that report.
Do you remember I think AJ even went like this for me for that one.
Yeah, need one. Need one here.
You're right. It hit me when he said something when Tom asked him what he's going to do. He's like, well, pull my toe out. So I was like, oh, of course. Hemorrhoids, yeah.
Man, I got so excited. I don't think you understand how excited I got. Like whatever that happened. I'm like, oh, here we go. I got pumped. Thank you for Aaron for his time. Happy birthday to him. I hope he enjoys his bye week. We're back after the break here. I don't know if the music is working. This computer crashed. Power surges have been happening through our office.
Jesus.
Who knows if anybody even saw or heard that entire interview. I have no idea. We'll be back in 4 with reactions, some more phone calls, and hopefully wrap up this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday in a beautiful fashion. We'll see you then. Steelers potentially staring down a losing season for the first time in 20 years. Jesus.
Damn.
Wow, moment of silence, dude. All right, I should stand for this one. It's a big one.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. It's a day, 20 years a long time.
7 more minutes.
You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question and pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and when we first got it, I would come in here and I would clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, like, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit.
Yeah,
and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smelling straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, I see, we got a couple, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey, man, did you do this? Like, oh, no. So, one of them owned up to it. I said, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you we get you a broom and, you help us, we help you. You feel me? And, we put together a little, I put a proposition together for him, and I ain't cleaning up shit no more.
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah, hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie. Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He saying sweeping up. He like, hey, what's up? Oh, boy, I've been looking for you. You feel? Okay. Yeah, we bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
SeatGeek has come up clutch for us all season long as we get back out there. Maybe the best thing they've done is make all football tickets 15% off to all users. Whoa. Not just new users. Return customers can still get 15% off all football tickets. No code. Just click the link in the description of this video right now at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. And 15% off will be auto-applied to your account. Doesn't matter if you've purchased with SeatGeek before. SeatGeek, the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and the moon. Because they grade every ticket on the internet to let you know whether or not you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Green means good, red means bad deal. They look out for you. Well, you're not getting capped. Shout out SeatGeek.
Shout out.
15% off all football tickets. If you want to go watch that, non-vaccinated son of a bitch Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
Bullshit.
Hey, there's people that hate him in the media, man. There's people that hate him in the media. Today he was like, he kind of fired back. I think people.
What did she say? I don't remember.
I still don't know. I
like
still
the
don't know.
Specifics of saying like that she took a few shots at him.
I still don't know, but I do know that people are not happy about me having a platform that he is allowed to say what he said on it, and those people are taking shots. So I want to let them know that once I hear what she said, I'll let you know how I feel about it.
Okay, that's fair.
And two, I only speak about what I know.
That's right.
I only speak about what I know. That's all I can do. I wish more people would do the same. Okay, so you'll see me absent of some conversations because of the fact that could generate or garner potential big time juice for our show. I'll stay away because I don't know. This is another one of those situations. As soon as he said it, I actually said, whoa, who the fuck is this? I actually said, have we talked about this person? I knew nothing of the sort, but his surgery announcement's a big deal. He might get surgery on Monday. Why Monday instead of now? Can something happen until Monday? He said, yes. That's a big time deal. That's a big time deal football wise.
what can happen. I guess it'll heal enough to where he's not going to have to go through surgery. And he said if you get surgery, it'll immobilize that pinky toe for the rest of the year. Is that what he meant?
Yeah, was he going to cut it off? Is he amputating his pinky toe? Is that what he was thinking?
Ronnie Lott.
I don't know if that was exactly what he was saying. You could do that right now.
Could you imagine if Aaron Rodgers gets his pinky toe amputated so he could play football?
Unreal.
This hippie is committed more his body to the game. Wouldn't get the vaccination shot, but he did cut his fucking toe off. What does that mean, immobile? He said it would just stabilize it? I don't know. Are they putting a pin in there? And then
I guess they would put a pin there and let it, and then just take it out after the season? I don't know.
See, that to me sounds like he would favor it more, and it would become more of an issue if you did that. I mean, obviously I don't know, but look how I don't know how much worse it can get, but it really doesn't look. I mean, and he got shot up with lidocaine or whatever before the game, but it really doesn't look like it affects him that much outside of him wincing.
The whole thing is fractured, right?
Yeah, it's a fractured pinky toe, so it'll never be fixed, I guess, until you do surgery where they have to pop it out, move it back in, and then kind of put it in there. And your pinky toe, I mean, he showed it. It does have a little mobility. Some people can't move their pinky toe, by the way. I got the opportunity of both pinky toes kind of give a little shot out. How you doing? I get a little web. You get a little web out there. That's good news. Not everybody can do that. He probably can. We'll react to people's reactions to his comments from today. Tomorrow with much, smarter people giving their opinions on everything that he said there.
Sure.
Wonder what Wall Street Journal's going to say.
Well, Wall Street Journal did not. I mean, Andrew had a conversation with him.
No apology, right, though? No public apology.
No retraction.
He said they changed.
What did the article say about? Did they say that he definitely has COVID toe?
I mean, COVID toe was trending.
Yeah, I
from the
believe
article.
they did
So
say
I
that,
think.
yeah.
And there was a clip that we posted that he did say nothing but the COVID toe or whatever. But I feel like this was exposing some people who hate any sense of humor or joy or anything like you listen to that. Actually, listen to that. It's like, oh, Aaron tried to make a joke about himself and his situation.
You hear guys laughing. Didn't we all laugh?
Yes, we all laughed. But people don't want anybody to ever point and have humor or fun in a situation that is so. Polarizing. And I think some people have lost all joy in their life too. So, I mean, he said it fucking ruined them, dude. Cook them. He said it. Right. That came out of his mouth. Let's cook them. Anyways, let's move on. I want to get your thoughts on Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't know if we have chatted about it or we chatted about it before you got on today, but there's a lot going on in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. This is what happens when you lose. When you lose games, everything comes to the light. And when coming to the light things happen, there's going to be a lot of drama and scrutiny, especially with a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin, we had a moment of silence yesterday for his all-time winning streak of never having a losing season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's probably coming to an end. That's probably dead this year with how things look right now. Following, now you got Minka Fitzpatrick saying little things can go different throughout the week, which is probably true, by the way. And then Chase Claypool coming out and saying, I think we should have music at practice. Probably true, by the way, but not being talked about. And then Cam Hayward has come out and said, I wanted to rip the speaker out whenever I heard him say that. But probably true, by the way. And then Ryan Clark says, hey, these dudes aren't doing what the Steelers are supposed to do. And then Tomlin comes out and says, probably true. So there is so many things being exploited and exposed and spotlighted because they're losing. This is what happens when teams lose. Everything that hasn't been talked about in the past gets brought up in a big way. And it seems like the Steelers are on the precipice of a potential rebuild over there in the Steel City.
Yeah, this is a prime example of when you're losing, all of this stuff's going to come out. All this stuff is happening. Guys have these thoughts when you're winning, but there's no reason to really say it publicly. The media's not going to ask them about that. Oh, how could you, if they had 9 wins right now, the media's probably not going to be like, oh man, what are you guys going to do? How are you going to figure this thing out? What are you going to do? You've lost 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
They'll never ask you that. But yeah, now though, this is rare though for a Pittsburgh team, I feel like, to have this. This is like what most other bad teams deal with, not the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers are normally pretty drama-free until, logos. This is
They've had a few things, I guess. Yeah, filming in the locker room, right? Didn't Tomlin's little speech get out?
There's a new, and Ryan Clark comes out and speaks about the standard, right? And Ryan Clark isn't the only one hooked. I think some others talk about what they're seeing. And then Tomlin having to answer for it. But Tomlin also not saying, I'm just worried about the men in the locker room. I'm not worried about anybody else. Tomlin was like, no, they know. They're probably right, by the way. Tomlin is probably preaching the same message in the locker room. Can they fix it? Cam Hayward thinks they can. Steelers fans, probably some of them are hopeful. But I think everybody is pretty disappointed with what the future of the season looks like in Pittsburgh right now.
I'm very sad about what's going on and the way that things are being handled. And it sounds like the filming in the locker room, the dance on the logos, the music at practice. We're just going to have to fucking run the triple option from now. Get rid of all receivers.
Okay.
They're ruining the fucking program.
So you guys are going to ruin the program? Are you guys going to trade for like Lamar Jackson or something? Or are you just going to have Naj run the Wildcat?
Yeah, you don't have to throw. It doesn't matter.
Just have Naj back there.
Probably just Naj.
Well, good luck with that. I think that'll be maybe a long,
to watch.
long
Very fun to
haul
watch.
to get better. Pittsburgh will, if it wins, they won't care. If there's good defense and they just run people over, people in the older generation in Pittsburgh would not care.
Well, and that's the issue with what's going on the last 3 weeks, and I think why older players are coming out now. It's the fucking defense that's been terrible, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah, because the defense has since forever has been Pittsburgh Steelers football. AJ, this show's wrapping up here on Sirius. Anything to say to the people that are about to hear a much better show than ours?
No, I'm sure they're going to enjoy Mad Dog Tuesday. He always brings a lot of energy, I feel like.
I wonder what they'll say about the Aaron Rodgers conversation immediately following this show on this channel. I assume they'll bury it for something.
Yeah, probably.
Not that there isn't a reason not to. I'm sure there's some good stuff as well. A much better show than ours will be on the other side of this 6-minute break. Cheers. We'll see you manana. Dun, 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 dun. People hate AJ.
What?
People hate Aaron talking. Well, great transition, Fox.
Thank you. They hate that he's talking at all?
Yeah, I just think like him giving his side or his opinion, people don't necessarily love that. I don't know. I guess we allow. I seen one tweet that and this happened during the immunized, misleading
The
situation.
Aaron Rodgers Friday.
Us allowing him to speak, and speak his mind is the problem here.
Because that's what you should do. If you disagree with somebody, you should have them canceled and shut them down so you can't hear what they have to say and you never hear their side of the story. That'll help you grow.
Well, and also in a good conversation, I think the right thing to do is not let the person speak their side, and I think that is a good thing for a talk show.
Yeah, that's right.
A good thing for a talk show is a conversation that isn't an actual conversation, just a one-person led storyline. And, that's maybe the difference. The old school journalists, by the way, sent me a lot of text messages and said, no, getting somebody to talk and give their side is what journalism is. That is what journalism. So anybody that is in the journalism world that is attacking you, they're wrong. This younger generation does not feel the same way as some of the older cats. I mean, they think that I am allowing a platform for somebody that does not deserve to be listened to or heard or something.
Well, yeah, you can't win the argument if you
But
hear
if they-
the other side of
hold
the
on,
story.
Go ahead, Age.
That's only because whoever these people tweeting you, they disagree with Aaron, right?
Did they have any issue with any of the football stuff he was talking about?
Well, the football stuff, I don't know, because what if he says something that isn't smart football? Is anybody going to say, why are we allowing bad football to be talked about on this show? Because
there's some pretty good football stuff in there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bad football stuff other places. So
right.
should we be mad about that?
Something we should ask.
How come nobody talks about that angle? Should we be pissed off about some of the stuff that happens in our world, in our journalism?
Yeah, kick the Jets out of town.
What's that?
What?
What'd you say?
What?
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 You said something about the Jets there. I don't know.
No, just the Jets.
No, I'm not talking about the Jets. I'm talking about how other people cover football. I don't know what you.
What is he talking about?
I don't know what you were talking about.
Kick the Jets out of
Kick
town.
the Jets out of town.
Relocate the Lions.
Yes.
Okay.
As a franchise who who watches a team that, enjoys good football.
What the fuck? Oh, you're saying that the Jets are just criminally
Yes.
bad for the
Strike
NFL as a whole.
down the terrible organizations like the Lions, like the Jets. I'm sick of this bullshit.
I was talking about the media that just say wrong things every day about sports and make a lot of money doing it every single day, coming after us for things not being right. You're saying, no, also the league being misrepresented.
Yeah, it's time to tear down the franchise. They're destroying football.
All right, cool. That's cool. AJ, this is a dumb world, This is a dumb world.
It would probably save you a lot of stress you're not going to figure it out.
I don't care either. Like, that's the thing about it.
You need to not care more. You need to not care more.
I've reached a very good point, because with everything going on with my wife, who I'm incredibly proud of, that she put the story out there of what we went through with our miscarriages here back-to-back years and everything she has battled through and everything that we've learned about this incredibly devastating situation that is a lot more common than people think because nobody ever talks about it. My wife yesterday, and I did not know she was going to do this, my wife yesterday decided to tell our story, and we've gotten a lot of messaging from people like, hey, we've been there, and it's like, it's been really cool for us, I think. We can still have a baby, I think, which was a big-time mood booster for, I know me, I know I try to, at least stay as positive as possible. I was broken when I thought there was a time on Saturday when we were in the hospital where I thought we weren't going to be able to make a baby. And I was like, I was down, like it was bad. But then I found out, no, there's still a viable option. I think in comparison to the mood that I was in, with what that brought, it was a big time mood boost. Now, there's still surgery, and my wife is battling through the rehab and the recovery, and obviously she's gonna be an incredible mom, and how she thought it was gonna go, and we were pregnant, so we were gonna be parents, so it was already locked in and everything like that, so she's been a badass. But once things like that continue to happen, I love getting a chance to do this. I absolutely love this. This is like an escape for me. It's really all I do. All I do is work and I go home. I work and I go home, and it's a nice escape. And I've decided that since our show has grown, which is incredibly awesome, thank you all so much, there's going to be more people that say, so I just don't give a fuck anymore. I just, there's so many other things that I actually genuinely care about, including talking about this, that I'm not going to let some people, ruin my day. I'm not going to let it anymore. It used to bother me because I'm always like, you don't know me, man. We don't know each other. If we were to meet, we'd probably get along, wouldn't we? I mean, so I always had that type of problem. And also people that don't listen to my words, they only listen to my delivery. I think they potentially have a problem. I'm like, no, just listen to what I'm fucking saying, though. You might actually learn something. It might be a little bit too quick for your dumb ass, but that type of stuff. Now I'm at the point where I don't care. And it's pretty sweet. Even though, potential life can happen, I'm very thankful for where we're at. And it's because of the support team. Literally, I appreciate the hell out of all of you. It's awesome.
Well, I think that's well said. Didn't Aaron say that? It's about relationships, who's on his side, who's not. He sees who is really with him. Yeah, we all have that. But yeah, I mean, if you sit there and try to make everybody happy, that's never or you get pissed at every little thing that comes at you.
Hey, but I was good at it.
Not gonna win.
But I was good at it for a long time in real life. Now the internet always whatever. I feel like I was a pretty good locker room guy. Hey, I can get somebody that feels complete opposite about the world.
Yeah, that's completely different than online because those guys know you. You're seeing them face to face. People that don't know you, they just watch you.
Yeah.
They don't know you really.
I mean, kind of. They see a lot. I'm a lot.
They do. You're right. People know you more than others because you're real. This isn't like a manufactured act you're putting on.
Well, some guy came up to me at an airport that I landed at, and that freaks me out every time. There's just, I land there and there's 5 people just sitting there and they're like, your car is right over there. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I got to walk through this group of people that are clearly here for me, right? They're obviously here for me. And I have no idea what these people's intentions are. Oh, these people just want me to sign something and then they can sell it. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'll walk right through here. Great place you got. You're paying a lot of money. It's fucking a lot of money, but this is awesome. But it's been happening that it's not just the autograph hounds. It's people that are, I think, our biggest, our biggest, in the way we talk. They don't even ask for a picture or anything. It's just hey, what's up? How you doing, man? It's hey, how you doing, cuz? Good to see you. I normally have to say, you want to get a photo or whatever. It's because I think they know me and know us so well because we're live so much. Mm-hmm. It's a really cool thing. I'm very, very lucky, but I haven't been as tapped into the things being said about us that are super negative, or about me that are super negative, as I had been in the past. And it's been nice. It's been pretty nice.
It's probably healthy. Yeah. It's probably good for you, especially the bigger and bigger everything gets.
Well, who knows if that's going to happen. I mean, any day somebody tunes in, we're doing the rock thing, people could just disappear. I mean, this show could come crashing down. I understand that, but it's just it's a cool existence. And I'm very, very lucky for it. But the Aaron Rodgers stuff, whenever I get thrown into his world, it's fucking insanity over there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
That's what we talked about too, though. It's it doesn't matter what you say, and when it comes to him, at this point, no one is just Aaron Rodgers. They either fucking hate his guts or they enjoy him, enjoy listening to him. So it really,
and we're here, and we're a part of it.
Yeah. Just doing the best you can.
Hey, it's awesome because Ty is the intellect. Ty was accepted to Harvard. Ty is into reading a lot of shit and looking into stuff. There'll be some days we'll walk into this studio and I'll look at Ty, and I'll be like, somebody's going to hate me today, huh? Like, because we have to talk about something. And Ty's like, today's going to be a tough one. Yeah, and then it would just like sit down and go. It's fun, though. You know, the sports world just gets serious sometimes, and I wish it wouldn't. It should just be a celebration of a collection of people that might be vastly different from everybody. We have people from almost every fucking continent at this point playing in the league. It's just like, sports should be a celebration, I think, but every once in a while the real world gets involved, and once that happens, boy, people get pissed. Man, they get so mad. I mean, and I understand, because it's your life that is being fucked with. I get it. But I'm just here to talk about the ball that's either going through the uprights or not.
Damn right.
You know?
We need Dewey Johnson. Dewey Johnson to bring everybody together, right?
Hey, what if he did win, too? Like, could you imagine? I don't know why he would want to do it.
Yeah.
Because he has everybody loves him, it seems like, at this point. I mean, Young Rock got picked up for 6 new seasons, I think.
Take a $95 million pay cut.
Well, not just that. Also, people are going to hate you. And it's not just, and we learned this from Gonzo.
Yeah,
We learned this from Gonzo. It's not just the opposing party that immediately hates you.
No.
It's also like 10 to 15 to 30% of your own party that hates you. So that's 80% of people you're potentially signing up to hate you. That is a tough go, especially if you're the eyebrow-raising, ticket price rising, big ticket rock that's beloved by everybody. You know, I don't know if that's.
But think about it for him though. Like if so, of course, I'm sure he's like, well, I have a great life. Why would I do that? But if they came to him, some people came to him like, hey, if you ran, like we absolutely think we can do what it takes for you to win and become the next president. He would. Don't you think you'd have to think about that for a little bit? Like, well, this wasn't exactly what I was planning, but what if I could say, oh, what'd you do for those 4 8 years? Oh, I was the president real quick. And then I came back and started doing more movies.
Yeah, I was president. I worked out in the Iron Paradise, dude. Fucking ate French toast and drank Terramana with people from all over the goddamn world. What did you do, dude, for 4 years, 8 years, while I was running the fucking free world, cuz? Jeez. He did drop in his little thing. Although I have been told that 44% of Americans would approve of me being president, I still drink my shot of tequila.
Hell yeah.
He did drop it in there. He has had to have been told by somebody, like, hey, I know, like, people fuck around and say, like, hey, this person should be president. Oh, make this person the president. Oh, this person should be. Like, real talk, people are saying you should actually be president. So maybe take a little time away from the Terramana and maybe, think about running a campaign. Imagine his campaign cutting promos every night.
Unbelievable.
I mean, the debates is what you.
Oh my!
I want my
word.
president fucking drinking a little bit though. Be
Yeah,
weird.
By the way, I would want.
Weird if you
I'm
did.
not getting into this, but because I don't know enough about it to know, like, but I want the most successful actual human that we got to go in there and just figure it out. Like, hey, if we could you should want somebody to be successful.
What if that's Bill Gates?
Well, good human, real human. Listen, I don't know him. I don't know him personally, but I think that should be a scale. Like, hey, need a real human with some empathy in here. Also incredibly successful. They've seen how it works. Self-made would be better, I think, personally, because they've seen every level. And let's put that person in there, and it's like, Dewey seems to check all the boxes there. you know?
Bezos.
Yeah, Bezos, real human. Now I don't know, like how people feel about that.
He's a wacko. He's trying to
Whoa,
just go to space any chance he can. We can't have our
Strahan's going right.
Yeah.
Penis rocket though. Bezos might.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't know if anybody thinks like, hey, Bezos, that's a human. You know, like Bezos is an Elon Musk alien, Bezos alien. There's some people that are just different, I think, you know?
Well,
The Rock is still cutting selfie promos on Instagram.
What do you mean? You've seen that picture of Bezos working at that desk in that little shed.
Yeah,
You know, he
Photoshop
started.
would never do that. Never, ever. Now that I think about it, that's bullshit, huh, that photo?
Well, don't you just...
That photo's bullshit. Is that what you were just saying?
No, I think it's
Not
real.
Bezos.
It's real.
All right, I'm happy.
Look at
about
Elon Musk. Look at pictures of Elon Musk back in the day. He looks completely different too.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen photos of Elon Musk back in the day? They don't do that often.
Yeah, they do. Look at it. His hair is much better now. He's in better shape now. Yeah.
Well,
but they
of course, I think.
That's what I'm saying. They all figured it out.
He gets that spatial universe hair plug.
Yeah.
He just takes off. If I'll never forget walking on that fucking pier in Santa Monica and there being an obvious UFO in the sky. and everybody is just not even paying attention. I'm like, what is that? Oh, that's Elon. That's
Fucking
SpaceX.
Elon.
Yeah,
You're
he's
fine.
out of here. It's like this alien even created his own fucking rocket ship that everybody's just cool with. Yeah, he's taking off. He's fucking leaving Earth. What? Okay. Yeah, this is just normal guy. Same brain as me. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Happy for
Sure,
that.
yeah.
Fucking good for him. But yeah, like Dwayne is still cutting promos.
Oh yeah. Well, and like a guy like Bezos, he's reached a level of wealth at this point where like he's not a real human being
How do you
anymore.
stay? If you some people might potentially, breach a level of cash, that would be potential life changing or generational changing and things like that. How do you stay? I wonder. How do you not become?
I mean, he could light like $10 billion on fire right
buy
now just for the
every
hell
league?
of it. Yeah,
and
every team. Yeah.
How do you not?
There we go.
AJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Elon, congrats, dude.
Hey,
Fuck.
good work, Elon.
I
I
don't
love
think-
you, Elon.
Hey, thank you for everything you've done, Elon. Honestly, big old brain on you, man.
Looks like Jin Tao from
Yeah, it does.
Rush Hour in the
June
fucking
1st.
June Tao.
It does look exactly like
All right, let's get out of here. We appreciate everybody. That's about the show, AJ. Big announcement coming in the next week. I think 7 days.
Okay.
What day is today?
Today's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, probably 7 days. I think. Ah,
Say 10. Play it safe.
8 days.
Okay.
Big announcement.
Yeah.
Should be cool. It's going to be fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like I've tried to think about the reaction. It's going to be large, I think. AJ?
I know you seem to be thinking about it a lot and teasing it.
I think it's going to change like some people. Like I think it's going to change some potential, futures of people. Not just obviously of the crew here and everything else that'll potentially benefit from it, but like I think we potentially put a little rattle into the entire little media thing.
Oh yeah.
I think we do. AJ. And they're going to hate us for that. Hey, there are going to be people that ain't going to be happy about it. You know what I mean? But we're walking in. How you doing, bitch? Keep it moving. All right, we'll be back tomorrow in about 20 hours and 48 minutes or so. Can't wait for you to join us. Hopefully you will. AJ Hawk, great show today. Tone, Connor, Ty, all the boys in the back. Big thanks to Aaron Rodgers. Can't thank you enough. We're back tomorrow. Have a good one. 25% off the entire store. Store.patmcafeeshow.com. We'll end tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. 30 minutes into the live show starting. So go ahead and get your shit now. I don't know if it'll make it by Christmas.
No.
We'll see.
We've been warning you, though. We've been warning. People have been getting their shit, though.
Yeah, they have.
I've been seeing a lot of tweets. So shout out CFO Phil,
Phil.
Bruce, and the store for making that happen. Store.patmcafeeshow.com. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.